Good afternoon, hockey fans, and what is going on? It is, once again, your host, Neil Villapiano, the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, and welcome to another exciting playoff edition of Live Watch Along right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Today, it's Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal matchup between the Florida Panthers and the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning. This live watch along and everything we do here at the Hockey Podcast Network are sponsored by the awesome people over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure you guys go to DraftKings right now. Use our promo code, which you can see right here, THPN, and tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. If you are new here, guys, make sure to leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe. The only way you can interact with us in the chat is by subscribing. So make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are new to the channel and you subscribed, let me know in the comments so I can give you a shout out. And also, guys, you don't have to do this. It is not required, but it's very much appreciated. You can also donate to the stream if you also want to show more support. All donations go back to the hosts like myself. This is also a comment-driven live watch-along, as all of them are. So if you have a question, comment, anything like that you want to discuss, let me know in the comments section, and I will share it here on the screen. We already have a bunch of comments. Sean, as always, is in the chat. He says, go Panthers. He also says, let's get to 2.1 thousand subscribers. Yeah, we're almost to 2,100 subscribers. It's crazy how much this channel has grown in just the last couple of days. But I think it just mainly has to do with the fact that we're into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we got a lot of things going. So very much excited as always to be hanging out with you guys, and looking forward to another exciting live watch along here. Fortnite Slayer Dog, what's going on, man? He says, let's go Panthers. Jack says, hopefully it's Neil or Isha. It is yours truly. This is the first of 3 games that we have on the docket today. Kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what the reasoning was that we only had 1 game yesterday, but we got 3 today. So hopefully you have your plans ready for this Sunday. I know for some of you it might be a gorgeous day outside like it is for me here on the Jersey Shore, but I'm excited to be indoors getting ready for this exciting Game 3 matchup here. Sean says, Neil, where are you? I am right here, man. Let's see. Jack says, Neil, what's going on, Jack? Good to see you, man. Moose says, hi, Dad. Good to see you, my friend, as well as you, Andrew. Hope you're all doing very well on this Sunday afternoon. Fortnite says, who's winning? I want Tampa or I don't know. I don't really have a preference, honestly, because I'm not a fan of either one of these teams. I don't have a dog in the race, as I like to say. But I really think that Tampa's going to end up getting a stranglehold in the series. I'm going to go with them to win this game today by the score of 5-2. I think winning Game 2 in dramatic fashion like they did with Russ Colton scoring that GWG with just 3 seconds to go in the third period of game number 2, I think it's going to suck the life out of this Panthers team that was hoping to at least go to Tampa, tied at a game apiece. But now they are halfway to having their season be cut short here in the second round against their rivals and the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. Andrew says, go Panthers. All right, awesome. Danelle, what's going on, man? Good to see you as always. I would imagine that you would be here considering that it is a Sunday afternoon. He says, yo, Neil, what up, my man? Didn't know you'd be doing this live stream. Yep, I am doing this one. That's the one I'm doing today. Jack says, go Panthers, let's beat the two-time cheaters. Very nice. Sean says, hi, Dad. Let's go Panthers. Good to see you, Sean. Danelle says, I will say if the Panthers don't win this game, it's over for them. If the Lightning win this game, they are winning the series. Very, very astute observation. I think that is that's a very good point. Andrew says, who is the host for the next stream? Not entirely sure off the top of my head, but I do know my good friends Carter Potts and Nate Thomas will be live later tonight for Game 3 of the Battle of Alberta between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames, with that series now tied at a game apiece with Games 3 and 4 in Edmonton. So make sure you stay to that. Fortnite says, oh, you're in Jersey. Yep, born and raised in New Jersey. Danelle says, got that wine, Neil? Today I'm actually not going to, and that's mainly because, number one, I personally didn't get the world's greatest amount of sleep from the night before, so that's one reason, and wine does obviously make you tired. The other thing is that I have a bunch of other work, including with my podcast, Devil's State of Mind podcast, in which you guys should go check out. I got work to do there. I'm also going to be a guest on a podcast as well later today. So I got a lot more stuff after this live watch along today to do. So I will be just sticking with the good old fashioned H2O because, as I always say, hydrate before you dehydrate. We're about 3 or 4 minutes away, by the way, from puck drop here. Jack says, Panthers win today, then Tampa wins tomorrow since they are playing back-to-back. Oh, okay. So, interestingly enough, for Tampa and the Panthers, they'll be playing on back-to-back nights. So, that'll get them pretty much even with everybody else. All right. Thank you for that update, Jack. Appreciate it. Jack, is Jacob going to come in and hang out with us today? You have your wine with you, Neil? I do not. Like I said, going to be sticking with just water for this one. Vasi is 97 out of 100 on shots. He is continuing to be, without doubt, in my opinion, the best goaltender in the National Hockey League, especially over the course of the last 2 years. Certainly when you look at what he's done in the playoffs, and even in this year, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Andrew says, I understand. Thank you. Danelle says, also the Panthers Lightning is playing a back-to-back game for us tomorrow. Thank you for that update, Danelle, and thank you as well to Jack also for those updates. I appreciate it. Sean says he has his peanut butter with him like always. Awesome. He made a peanut butter smoothie, actually. That's good. It's was it a peanut butter protein smoothie or was it just like a regular peanut butter smoothie, Sean? Very cool. Nonetheless, he says not half bad. Very cool. But yeah, this is arguably, Jack says, guys, Neil forgets about me. I'm Jacob. Do you guys, you confuse me with the fact that it's either Jack or Jacob or whatever. I feel like I'm getting trolled all the time, which I can't say I'm surprised. But either way, we appreciate you all hanging out with us regardless. Andrew says, who do you want to win in the Canes game? As I mentioned before, because I am a massive New Jersey Devils fan and I do not like the New York Rangers, I obviously want to see the Hurricanes win Game 3 and go up 3-0 on the Rangers. I know, Andrew, you want to see the Rangers win. We'll see if they can get it done later on this afternoon. That game will come up right after our game here between Florida and Tampa. But yeah, it's not necessarily do or die, but this is without a doubt for the Panthers their biggest game of the season. They're down 2-0 against the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, arguably their biggest rival. And they come into this knowing that if they lose this game today, Game 3, go down 3-0, it is very, very likely that their season will be over in the next couple of days. And considering the fact that they had such high championship aspirations going into the playoffs and how dominant they were all season long, to get knocked out in the second round, get knocked out so prematurely, despite, regardless of who they're playing, would obviously be a massive failure for the Florida Panthers. But they could obviously at least force another game back in Florida if they're able to win today. And with it being such an early start, a 1:40 time start, we might get a little bit of a crazy game because usually in these day games, especially in the playoffs, we might see a bunch of goals. So stay tuned. This would get you excited, Neil. You could take a photo or be with the Stanley Cup today from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the NHL store. Well, unfortunately, because I'm in New Jersey, I'd have to go up to New York. I don't have time because I'll be here doing this live watch along today. I'll get other opportunities down the road, but thank you for that, Danelle. Fortnite says he's in New Jersey. Well, that's very cool. Very cool. Are you from New Jersey originally, Fortnite, or that's where you are now? How about Flames series? I would like to see the Flames win. I have the Flames going all the way to the Cup final, so I would like to continue to be right about that. I'd like to see the Flames win that series. How did you feel about the Avs winning last night? Well, at the end of the day, I think with Jordan Binnington getting knocked out, and now we found out just moments ago he'll be out for the rest of the series for St. Louis, I think that certainly that was the turning point in that game and might be the turning point in the series. It really wasn't a dirty hit, in my opinion, from Nazem Kadri. Don't know what exactly the overreaction is, but we'll talk about that in more detail as this game progresses here today. What is going on, Hannah Scherzen? Thank you so much for saying hi and leaving a comment. We do appreciate it. Hannah, while you're also here, make sure to, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. It helps out the channel just as much as subscribing. We thank you for subscribing as well. Andrew wants the Panthers to win. I want the Panthers to win too. Hannah says, give me your guys' score predictions. I went with 5-2 Tampa in this one. What are you guys going with? Fortnite says, I mean New Jersey. Is NJ short for New Jersey? Or am I just no? No, that's accurate. NJ is short for New Jersey. Hannah says she wants the Panthers to win this game today too. Awesome. Andrew says, I was cleaning the garden stuff, so I just got the game on ready to watch when I'm done. Very cool, Andrew. Very cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the puck has been dropped, and we are underway in Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal matchup. Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers. Lightning coming into this with these 2 games at home, up 2-0, 2 wins away from making it to the conference finals for the 3rd consecutive season, which is very impressive. Well, it certainly will be. Hell yeah, Binnington gone. Avs will win this. I think there's a very likely chance now that the Avs will certainly win. I'm not saying there wasn't doubt, but the way Binnington was playing, it looked like he was very much prepared to steal a couple of games and maybe pull off an upset. What's going on, Jomo Keith? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well on this Sunday afternoon. We thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure to leave a like on the stream while you're here. As Kucherov on a nice feed from Victor Hedman just missed the net. So the Lightning, less than a minute into this game, nearly got on the board early. Again, thank you so much, Hannah, for hanging out with us, and thank you for all the comments. Sean saying, what's up to Jomo? Again, Andrew, to give you, in case you missed it, Jordan Binnington will be out for the rest of this series. He might be able to come back later in the playoffs if indeed the Blues still pull off the upset, which I feel like is very unlikely. Then also I saw on the live stream from Twisted Wrister Hockey YouTube channel when I told him you could see the Stanley Cup in person NHL story, he showed Kim, the Islanders fan, in her jersey. Yeah, my good friend Kim Moisa, IslesGirl3 on Twitter. I saw that she was there earlier today with her boyfriend. Very, very cool. Very cool they got a chance to see that. Shout out to them. What games are you doing today? Jomo, this is the only game I'm doing today. I'm doing the first of the 3 games that are on today. After this, we have Hurricanes and Rangers, which is around 4 o'clock, I believe. And then after that, later on tonight at around 8, we'll have Game 3 of the Battle of Alberta between Edmonton and the Calgary Flames. Sean says, wait, I have to pull the game up. Oh, Sean, you haven't missed anything, man. Yeah, you haven't missed anything yet, so you're good. As Sergachev with a shot that gets blocked in front there. I believe that was by Verhaeghe. Fortnite says, I'm going to go. It's going to be 4-2 Tampa. All right. Somewhat similar to me as now Ross Colton comes in. Colton tried to deke around Gudas, but it was broken up. Ross Colton got the game-winning goal with 3 seconds to go in the 3rd period of Game 2 to help give Tampa the 2-0 lead. Great feed from Kucherov behind the net, by the way. Can't believe that Uyghur just left his assignment and left Colton so wide open in the slot. That was a gut-wrenching loss for the Florida Panthers, and we'll see how they respond here today. Did Binnington get a concussion from how he had gotten hit? It looked like that from me. I think it was a concussion, but I think it was also something else as well. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. Jomo says, go Tampa, go Calgary. Danelle says, also a friend of mine that is a Rangers fan also sent me a photo in a message in Instagram with him with the cup and taking it by itself. Very cool. Very cool that a lot of people get a chance to go see the cup today. How about the Avs guy? Oh, yeah, Gerard. Gerard is definitely out for the rest of the playoffs. He got a massive concussion in last night's game. They ruled him out for the rest of the playoffs last night, so he is definitely out for the rest. That's a massive loss on the back end for the Avs. Let's see here. Andrew says go Panthers. Jomo says go Carolina, so he's going with Tampa, Calgary, and Carolina to win today. I like it. That's pretty much what I would go with, Jomo. Andrew says go Flames, and Andrew says go Canes. Interesting, Andrew, because you've been cheering for the Rangers in the first 2 games of that series. I guess you've changed your mind. Jacob says Jordan Binnington is out for games 4 and 5. I believe he's out for actually the rest of the series, but maybe they did an update from the last time I saw, which was only like maybe a half hour ago. So we're just about 3.5 minutes into the first period of this game 3. Again, Tampa looking to try to take a stranglehold in the series, stealing both games in Sunrise. Now looking to try to go up 3-0 here with this first game in Tampa. Zach Bogosian takes a wrist shot, and that's kicked aside by Bobrovsky. Lightning trying to keep it in here. It's bouncing around, and eventually the Lightning have to get it out of the zone, and they'll just backhand it back into the Panthers zone. Sean says, for all of you New York City folks, I'm going up there this summer. Any suggestions on what to do while I'm up there? Oh, goodness. There's so many different things to do. But definitely, I feel like Donnell would give you a really good ideas to some good things that you can do, Sean. So you can definitely ask him. As now Barkov almost got it on his forehand, but he lost the puck. He would have had a really good chance in the slot there. So the Panthers are going to try to control. Ekblad now with the puck. Tries to get it over. Backhand pass is broken up, and it comes out of the zone. Andrew says, go Rangers, what I meant to say. Okay, so you are definitely going with the Rangers. I got you. Got you. What's going on, Richard? Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing well this Sunday afternoon. Make sure to leave a like on the stream while you're here. It helps out the channel tremendously. He says, hey, bro, I know you're a Devils fan. Long shot Trotz. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before, as that shot by the Lightning is blocked in front. I've talked about this before. I've also written an article for Inside the Puck about why I feel Barry Trotz would be a really good coach for the New Jersey Devils. I think it's very unlikely because the Devils look like they're very much keen on keeping Lindy Ruff, as a deflected shot by the Panthers got to Vasilevsky and he makes the save. And then we have some pushing and shoving after the whistle here with 14:42 remaining in the opening period, and the game is still scoreless. But yeah, going back to Trotz, maybe going to the Devils. Again, I think Lindy Ruff most likely will remain as the head coach for the Devils going into next season, because there was just way too many excuses that a lot of different people within the organization made about why the Devils struggled so much this year. Goaltending, injuries, things like that. But yeah, I would absolutely love it if the Devils were able to hire Barry Trotz and make him the next head coach. But I think most likely, Richard, you'll probably see Trotz in Winnipeg or Vegas possibly. Or maybe he might go back to Nashville as not a coaching role, but more of an advisor role, because the Predators just gave John Hines an extension. So, we'll see. But I think it's very unlikely that Barry Trotz ends up in New Jersey. Andrew says, Avs will get the cup, and for him. Okay. What's going on, Soda Pod, which covers the Minnesota Wild here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Good to see you guys as always. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to leave a like on the stream while you're here. It says, what's up, Neil? What's going on, guys? Sean says, I'm going to say this more than likely. It's going to be Avs versus Bolts in the finals, but I think the Avs are going to take it home in 7 games. I think that's a fair final to predict, because those are arguably the 2 best teams in the NHL right now, and certainly been in the playoffs. The Avs probably are the best team that could probably knock off the Lightning. But if, let's say, for instance, Colorado doesn't get there, I still very much believe that Tampa's going to end up three-peating. I just don't see anybody being good enough with the amount of experience and adversity that Tampa's faced over the last couple of years, and being able to withstand it and also be able to get over the mountaintop. I just have a tough time seeing anybody beating them. But in hockey, anything can happen. Trotz wants to go to the Islanders. No, he does not, because he got fired a couple of weeks ago, and I doubt and the Islanders already hired a new head coach. So Trotz is definitely not going back to the Islanders, that's for sure. That shot by Cirelli deflects out of play. 13:36 remaining in the first period. No score here, still in Game 3. Lightning and the Florida Panthers. Avionics, what's going on, man? Good to see you as always, my friend. Hope you're doing well today. Make sure to leave a like on the stream while you're here. And also, Avionics, I'm glad you're here, because for all of you that are in the chat right now, you see the Avionics name, well, his profile name is in green. That's because Avionics is an exclusive member of the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And if you want to become an exclusive member as well, click the join button that we have here at the bottom of this stream. Follow the steps, and then you can become an exclusive member as well, like Avionics and several others. And I will also get a notification right away when you become an exclusive member. So if you want to continue to be a major supporter of this channel, you can become an exclusive member today. Did you get your name from ESPN because THPN sounds like ESPN? No, we didn't. Again, it started as the Hockey Podcast Network, but then you shorten it and it makes sense, THPN. And that's also our promo code for DraftKings, which you can see at the bottom right corner here, THPN. My wonderful mother, as always, is in the chat showing support. She says, it's beastly hot in New Jersey. It's about 85 degrees, but a lot of humidity today. It was super hot yesterday. It really is, you really felt like summer here on the Jersey Shore. She says, so I'm glad to be sitting in the AC comfort and following this entertaining live watch along. Excuse me. But yeah, Mother, I appreciate your support. As always, make sure to not forget to leave a like while you're here. It rhymes and has PN. It does, but we did not take it from ESPN. Rich says, I live in New York. Advice for tourists, go to Florida. That's some great advice there, Richard. New team and new fresh team to get it done. All right. What's going on, Archduke? Good to see you as always, my friend. Hope you're doing well, Archduke. Obviously, you got to be frustrated with last night's loss from the St. Louis Blues and obviously the loss of Jordan Binnington as well. But we'll see if the Blues can bounce back in Game 4 and eat them up series. He says, good afternoon, Neil. Is it peanut butter or hockey today? It's probably going to be both. It might be hockey for now and then eventually transfer over. We'll see. Neil, I released that just now. Okay, Andrew. Sean says it's hockey talk for now, ... Yeah, it'll change. Interesting stat that I just saw here on the screen. The Florida Panthers are 0 for 25 on the power play in these playoffs. They have yet to score power play goals. Nikita Kucherov with a sharp angle backhand try that's sticked aside by Bobrovsky. Let's see here. Andrew says hello to my mom. Love it. Sean says, nah, I've already been to Florida and I need somewhere new and exciting. All right, fair enough. Andrew says about Trotz. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Trotz is going to end up going somewhere brand new and go from there. Unless he might retire. Who knows? It all depends on what he feels like he can do. The funniest place I think for him to go, which would piss off a lot of Islander fans, is the Philadelphia Flyers. They actually did interview him last week, so as a Devils fan, that would suck because he would remain in the division. But Islanders fans would certainly be pissed if he went from the island, drove down the Garden State Parkway, and ended up becoming the new head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Nick Paul, who I think blocked the shot, actually is going to the locker room, so we'll see if he's able to come back at some point, as he was able to walk off under his own power there. So we'll keep an eye on that as this game progresses. Sean is still a big fan of the creamy peanut butter. Jacob believes Trotz to Vegas. I wouldn't put it past the Vegas Golden Knights to do that. I feel like he would be a guy, especially because Trotz does really well with coaching veterans. I think that would be a good thing. But, yeah, actually it was Ben Sherrod who hit Nick Paul, and it didn't look like it was that big of a deal. But obviously Nick Paul is dealing with some discomfort, so he's going back to the locker room. We'll see if he's going to be able to come back in this one. And a new fresh team to get the cup, what I meant to say. I got you. Sean says Trotz to Seattle. Yeah, see, I don't think he'll end up going to Seattle first and foremost. Dave Haxtell is still head coach of the Kraken, so I don't expect the Kraken to do anything major with their organization from a coaching or even player standpoint for another 2 or 3 years as they, get acclimated to the NHL and build their team. Andrew says he doesn't like Nick Paul. Well, I don't blame you, considering what he did to the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 7 of Round 1. Danelle says, I will say that today is a must-win game for the Rangers against the Hurricanes, but remember the Hurricanes haven't won a road playoff game yet. They have not. They lost all 3 games in the Round 1 against Boston, so obviously they haven't been able to have success on the road, but they could certainly change that today. But yeah, if the Rangers go down 3-0, despite the fact they came back from down 3-1 to Pittsburgh in Round 1, I just don't think that I could see the Rangers making a comeback again. But again, we'll see if the Rangers can at least win today and force at least a Game 5 back in Carolina. Danelle says, didn't know that Trotz interviewed with the Flyers last week. He did. That was kind of a quiet type thing. But yeah, he did interview. As Hedman with a drive, and that one is blockered aside by Bobrovsky. So again, neither team putting on a whole lot of action so far. A little bit more physicality, I would say, that we've seen in this game. But Both goaltenders have made the saves when they've had to. But yeah, Trotz did interview for the Flyers job. We'll see what transpires with that. The Rangers are total bums. SodaPod, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Sean says, anyone else wonder how all 50 states, Alaska somehow doesn't have an NHL team? Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting. Maybe the next expansion they might consider it. That would be kind of fun if we had an Alaskan NHL team. I don't know what they would call them, though. I don't know what they would call them. Give me, guys, your suggestions for team names of an Alaskan NHL team. Is that pass in front? It's stopped by Vasilevsky as that puck came right out to Sam Reinhart off a bad pass from Tampa, but Vasilevsky made the great glove save. Lightning now had the puck. Cirelli tried to get over to Bogosian, got broken up, but now Kucherov, he gets pinned by Lindell. Panthers trying to get it out of the zone. Bogosian coming up the play, and now the Panthers are able to get it out, and here comes 27. He gets the pass broken up, and now the Lightning will slow it down with 9.5 minutes to go in the first. But a great chance moments ago from Sam Reinhart, but he couldn't beat Vasilevsky. And now Duclair with a shot that he whipped on. Puck is in the right corner now as the Panthers trying to keep it in. Panthers have it right now. Sam Bennett loses the puck, and it's taken away by Ryan McDonough. Does a spin move. It gets over to Bogosian, who will fire it off the boards and back down into the Panthers zone. Will it be enough for an icing? It will. So the face-off back in the Tampa zone with 9:04 to go. In the opening period, it's still no score. Lived in Florida my first 10 years. I never even heard of hockey until before moving to St. Louis. St. Louis is a very good place to go see hockey, from what I've been told. I will throw a water ball at the TV as a battle cry. All right. I like that. Diehard Rangers fan, regardless of outcome, future is bright. Future is still very bright for the Blue Shirts. They've gotten further than I think a lot of people expected them to do this year. The Alaskan Arseholes is a good name. Interesting. That's a good suggestion. Jacob says Alaska Monsters. Okay. The Alaska Moose. Solid. And before I continue here, it looks like we're going to get a penalty here against the Panthers. It's going to be a hold with 8:54 to go in the opening period. It looks like it's going to be Sam Bennett going to the Sidman. So the Lightning will get their first crack on the power play, looking to break the scoreless tie. Again, the Alaskan arseholes, all right? Okay. Alaska Freeze. No team in Alaska is due to their cities being in small to medium-sized city demographics. Alaska Freeze is a pretty good one. Jacob says Vasi has stopped 97 of 100 shots before this game started. That makes it now 101 out of 104 shots, including the ones that you just mentioned. But thank you for that update, Jacob. Appreciate it, man. But so now the Lightning will have a chance to see if they could strike first on the power play here. And again, other than the Sam Reinhart opportunity moments ago in which he it looked like he was trying to go top shelf, but Vasilevsky did a good job of keeping his glove hand up to at least get a piece of it. It's been a pretty quiet game. And usually what you get, and I know I mentioned this earlier when the game started about how you could see a lot of goals early on in a day game, you also could get what we've been seeing so far, where because NHL players and hockey players are such creatures of habit and we're so used to playing night games, that when we play a day game, everything gets pushed up so quickly that you kind of have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to kind of get myself going here? So that's kind of the situation I would say that both teams are in right now, just trying to get their legs under them with an early start and go from there. I would say by the time we get to the second period, things will really pick up, but we'll see what Tampa does here on this upcoming power play. SodaPod and Neil, Rangers will get it done today, and I'll prove you guys wrong. You know what, Andrew? I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers were able to get it done because, again, the Rangers have had a lot of success at home. They won 3 out of the 4 games they played at the Garden in round number 1, and the Canes haven't won a game on the road yet. So a lot of signs are pointing to the Rangers being able to get back in this series. And that's why it's just different here in this series. We're seeing is Kucherov with a shot that is stopped and covered by Bobrovsky. What's different about this series that we're covering today is simply that Florida lost both games at home and now have these next 2 games on the road. So it's a little bit different than what the Rangers are in. By the way, Nick Paul is back on the bench for the Lightning, so he appears to be okay. Tampa Bay Lightning, 4 of the 6 goals this series have been scored on the power play. So definitely the power play has been a big thing for the Lightning so far in the series. Just shove it up the rear, Andrew. The Rangers are not good. Not good. Fighting words there from the soda pod as now Victor Hedman controls it, feeds it over to the left side to Stamkos, back to Hedman. Hedman gets it to Kucherov. Kucherov at the right face-off circle will just circle around, gets it, tries to feed it in front to Corey Perry, and he just whiffed on it. Stamkos regains the puck, gets it to Hedman. Now over to Kucherov. Kucherov back to Hedman. He takes a wrist shot, and that one might have been blocked in front, but it skips wide of the net. Hedman keeps it in though. Hedman back to Kucherov. To Stamkos, tried to load up the one-timer but couldn't control it. Hedman now fakes the slap shot. Nice feed in front. That one's deflected. Looking for somebody, and the pass just missed Stamkos. Stamkos trying to keep it in, but the Panthers are finally able to clear it down to the Lightning zone. 1 minute to go on the power play here. 7:53 to go in the first period. Still no score. I lived in Alaska for 8 years of my life due to my parents being military, us moving around a lot. So I wonder why I didn't have an NHL team. Maybe because they're so far away from both, the Canadian teams and the NHL teams. But I think eventually the NHL might consider it. That's true, but they need to win. That's true. Guys called me Sir Andrew. Yes, we heard it call it. Yeah, that's one of your nicknames, Andrew. Call you Sir Andrew. Lightning second power play unit is on. Maroon feeds it in front. It gets broken up. And then Jonathan Huberdeau is able to clear it back down into the Lightning zone with 15 seconds to go in the power play. So maybe one last chance here if the Lightning decide to hurry up. Doesn't look like it that much as McDonough slowly makes his way up with 8 seconds to go in the power play. But let's see here. Andrew might be the most annoying person in town. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? He's actually been one of the longest tenured, if you could believe that. He's been here for a long time. As Kucherov with a sharp angle try gets blocked. Now gets it over to Chernak. Power plays over for the Lightning. McDonough over to Kucherov. Now McDonough with a drive. And it's deflected and he score! It's Corey Perry in front just as the power play expired. And with 6:39 to go in the first, the Lightning strike first. It's 1-0. So a nice deflection in front by Corey Perry. He gets the Lightning on the board. That won't be a power play goal, but nonetheless, the Lightning here at home get the early lead. But let's see here. Hockey Boy says, hey, Neil, what's going on, Hockey Boy? Good to see you, man, as always. Hope you're doing well. Beautiful deflection there by Corey Perry, I might add. Let's see here. Sean says, guys, let's have a positive vibe. Amen to that. Danelle confirms Lightning scored on the power play. Sean says, goal. Hockey Boy says, I don't like that. Sean says, boo. Fortnite says, yeah. Hockey Boy with go Tampa. Fortnite says, let's go. Andrew says, damn. But yes, Corey Perry deflecting in front. And I think Bobrovsky still got a piece of it, but not enough for it to stop it from going in the net. And the Lightning get the early, well, not the early lead, but they get the lead here in the first period with 6:39 to go. Hockey Boy talking about St. Louis. The loss last night was brutal. It was like a double-edged sword for the Blues because not only did they lose the game, they lost Jordan Binnington, who was playing really, really well in net in these last couple of games. And it's unfortunate that he's going to be out for some time. We'll see if Billy Husso can get back to his regular season form and help the Blues get back in the series. Avionics says, who's the best player from each team? Each team in the NHL? I guess we're talking about the players, the two teams we're talking about today. We got a great watch party outside right in front of Emola Arena, which is really great. I love that they have a watch party even though they're at home. Corey Perry's goal, his 5th of the postseason, his 3rd here in this series. So Corey Perry, who hasn't been much of a goal scorer as he's gotten up there in age, has turned back the clock a little bit, as also that goal was his 50th career playoff goal. So that's a good one. As that deflection by Palat goes wide of the net. But I would say the best player on the Lightning, because there's so many, but I'm going to go with Vasilevsky on that one. Ryan McDonough and Nikita Kucherov with assists on that Perry goal. But I would say for the Lightning, Avionics, I would say Vasilevsky. For the Panthers, I would probably say Jonathan Huberdeau, who I still think is one of the most underrated players in the NHL, but I think it might also be a tie between Huberdeau and Barkov because they don't get talked about enough because they play for the Panthers. They play in, Sunrise, and people haven't taken the Panthers that seriously up until this year. So, those guys have been thriving and playing so well and getting all-stars and getting 100-plus point seasons. They just don't get talked about enough. They're two of the most underrated players in the NHL. But I think it's more fair to say for me that it's a tie between both of them as the best player on Florida. I also don't like Perry. Yeah, well, again, as Andrew, you are a Leafs fan, I can understand your dislike for Corey Perry as well. Hockey Boy says, yeah, JB was doing well. Yeah, he certainly was. He certainly was that he was really strong in net. You saw how he finished the end of the series against Minnesota, and then you've seen what he's done early on in this series, and it's very unfortunate that he's going to be out for quite some time, and we'll see how the Blues are able to respond to that. Hopefully they'll be able to regroup and kind of go from there going into game number 4, which will be tomorrow. Let's see here. Avionics says, let's go Tampa. Yes, so Avionics is going with the Lightning. But yeah, Lightning get the first goal of this game on a deflected goal in front by Corey Perry. His 5th of the playoffs, his 50th career playoff goal. So Corey Perry has certainly had a lot of success in the playoffs. If a lot of you remember, he was two of the young guys, the up-and-coming guys for the Anaheim Ducks back in 2007 when they won the Stanley Cup. And he hasn't been able to win the Cup since then, although he has gotten very close the last couple of years. Because think about for Corey Perry, he was on the Dallas Stars 2 years ago when they were in the bubble and they got to the finals against the Lightning and ultimately lost. And then last year he was on the Montreal Canadiens, who ended up getting knocked out in the Stanley Cup final and losing in the final to the Tampa Bay Lightning again. So for Corey Perry, kind of like how Marian Hossa was like when he lost back-to-back Stanley Cups, losing with Pittsburgh to Detroit and then losing with Detroit to Pittsburgh. He then goes to Chicago the next year and ends up winning a couple of Stanley Cups for his resume. Corey Perry looks at him like goes, well, if you can't beat him twice, you might as well join him. And so the Lightning, who obviously were looking to try to replace that electric third line they had for the last 2 seasons with Yanni Gourde, Blake Coleman, and Barclay Goodrow, they add a guy like Corey Perry to really help them. And he has certainly been a great addition to this Lightning team, no question. What's going on, Bullet Season? Thank you so much for the comment, my friend. We do appreciate it, Bullet Season. Are you new to the channel? If you just subscribed, thank you so much. Also, make sure to leave a like while you're here as well. It helps out the channel. He says, let's go Tampa. Love it. All right, so we got another person cheering on the Lightning in this one. I like it. Like it a lot. I like that we got people cheering for the Panthers and the Lightning. As Ekblad just able to keep it in. Nearly an opportunity for Nick Paul. He might have been going the other way. Tries to make a long feed there to Kucherov, but good defense by Ekblad. Otherwise, Kucherov might have been on for a breakaway. Sam Bennett comes in. Bennett with a shot that just is a riser over the net in front of Vasilevsky. Andrew says, let's go Panthers. Sean also says, go Panthers. I always like that whenever we do these games, we got people, in the chat that are cheering for one of both teams. We got people cheering for both teams. It's awesome. It's awesome. Let's see here. Avionics says, you could say that Tampa is electric. Very nice. As we got some pushing and shoving in the right corner here as 27 Lundstrom got knocked hard by somebody on the Lightning. The Panthers decided to stick up for him. And there's been pushing and shoving after the whistle here. But it looks like the Lightning are definitely going to the box here. And we'll see if it's just a power play for the Panthers or if it's 4-4. But it's Brendan Hagel. Hagel the Bagel, who right now is going to the sin bin for the Lightning. We'll see what happens here. Sotapod says, let's keep the chat to hockey only. I agree. Well, I mean, it's possible we might also get peanut butter as, Brandon Hagel he knocked down Lundstrom, who then went head first into the boards. That was hard to see as we'll see it again. Boom! He went right face first. And we'll see if Lundstrom's okay, and we'll see if it's a 2-minute minor or something more major than that. Richard says, the only time I'll bet against Tampa is if they win the President's Trophy. I think that's fair. I think that's, but they didn't win the President's Trophy this year. I think some people looked at the Lightning even in their first round series as kind of like underdogs. A lot of people I saw pick the Leafs to win that series, but as we all know, ultimately that was not the case. And again, Lundstrom, I think, was definitely pushed on this play a little bit, knocked off his feet, and he went hard into the net there. Luosterainen, excuse me. That's not his name. Not Lundstrom. Luosterainen. I apologize. But right now, the refs are at the review table looking at this for maybe it could be a much more major penalty than just 2 minutes, as we still have 4:31 to go in the first period with the Lightning up 1-0. Archduke says, this round, Tampa has seemed to be fueled by their white lightning. Very true. I think you could definitely make an argument about Archduke. Here's my question to you guys. From what you've seen so far from Tampa this year, do you think they're a better road team or home team? I think that they've definitely been a better road team. They have won at home, but they've also had to have some big wins on the road already in this series. They had to win Game 7 on the road in the first round, and they've already won 2 games in Sunrise. So for me, at least, I would say that the Lightning this year are a much better road team than a home team. Andrew agrees. He says, yep. So right now here, we're still waiting for official word as we'll see what is decided. I'm actually going to mute this for a second. All right, so the ref has called a minor penalty. So it's going to be a 2-minute minor cross-checking penalty against Brandon Hagel. So for the first time today, the Panthers will go to the power play. Again, they are 0 for 35 in this series, not in this series, in the playoffs. They have still yet to score a power play goal. But the Florida Panthers, although they are getting a power play, are obviously not happy that it's just a minor 2-minute penalty against Brandon Hagel. They want it to be more. Now, for some reason, the faceoff is not in the Lightning zone. It's actually just out of the zone, right in front of the Lightning bench. Don't know why. But anyway, the faceoff is won by Tampa. McDonough will hold it for a couple of seconds, and then he'll fire it down into the Florida zone here. So we got 1:50 to go on the Florida power play. 4:20 blaze it to go here in the first period. 1-0 Tampa on a Corey Perry deflection goal. But let's see here. As now, here come the Panthers again. Hornquist, top of the point over to Barkov. Now to Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad over to the right side to Huberdeau. Huberdeau tried to get it back over to Ekblad. It got broken up. Now feeds it over. Tries to feed it around. That shot and they score! And the Panthers have tied it at 1 on a nice feed in front of the slot. Not sure exactly who scored there, but nonetheless, the Florida Panthers have finally scored a power play goal. It's Sam Reinhart who gets it, and with 3:53 to go in the first, the Panthers have tied it at 1. So Ekblad got it over to Barkov, then to Huberdeau, and he made a beautiful feed in front to Sam Reinhart, and he buried it. Just some great passing from the Florida Panthers on this power play, and they're able to cash in. So Sam Reinhart, who got robbed earlier in this period of what would have been the first goal of the game, he gets redemption, scores on the power play, and ties this one up as it just went under the right arm of Vasilevsky and in, and the Panthers tie this game up. Sean says, goal. He also says, woo. Danelwitz saying, Panthers score a power play goal. Andrew's pumped up. So is Sean, obviously. Andrew says, let's go. And then Sean says, that's their first power play goal. Yes, it took until the third game of the second round of these playoffs for the Panthers to finally get on the score sheet when it comes to on the power play. And that was a big one. That was a big one. So we'll see now if the Lightning have a response as now Weegar comes in and he gets rocked. Well, actually, he was about to get rocked, but he ends up actually hitting somebody on the Lightning who made the hit there. That was a big hit. I believe it was Hagel that tried to lay the body, and he was the one that actually ended up bearing the brunt of that. As now Perry tries to feed it in front of the deflection from Colton, and that shot goes wide. Corey Perry keeps it in. Perry, who has the goal for the Lightning right now. Gets it, Bogosian in the right corner, taken by Weegar, and Weegar looks to try to backhand it out, and he does. 2:50 to go in the first period. Panthers, just about a minute ago, tied it on the power play from a goal from Sam Reinhart. But let's see here what happens as now a feed in front, and Killorn with a shot that is blocked, goes up in the air, but Lightning keep it in. Nick Paul gets knocked down, no penalty called right now. Duclair in the left corner being hounded by Ryan McDonough. Duclair and McDonough still fighting with it. Now it's Duclair and Kucherov, and finally Duclair wraps it over to the right side where Ben Chiarot will slow it down for Florida. Chiarot with a nice feed to Sam Bennett, who comes in. Bennett tries to feed it in front, and it actually got to Vasilevsky, and he made the save. So it was a good deflection there from Sam Reinhart, looking for a second goal already, but Vasilevsky with a nice bounce-back save there. As now McDonough has the puck here with 1:56 to go. As actually we get a stoppage of play. What do we have here? Now we'll see what happens as need a replay again. Just a great feed. Sam Bennett actually got that pass through the legs of McDonough and actually got it on the Reinhardt stick, but Vasilevsky just able to get over there in time with his left leg to make the save. Let's see here. Richard says, whoever controls the special teams usually wins the cup. Yeah, that's a big factor in the playoffs, is that you get a lot of these situations where power play special teams becomes crucially important in order for you to make a long run in the playoffs. That is very true. Avionics says both goalies know how to tend the goal. Yes, you got two very talented Russian goaltenders with Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky. Bobrovsky a little bit more kind of up and down, but this has certainly been one of his better seasons of his career, and he has been a big reason why the Panthers have gotten this far. As that shot there from the Lightning is stopped off a shot from, I believe, Stamkos. Chernak wraps it around the board to Chiarelli. Chiarelli right now being hounded by Mackenzie Weegar. Weegar wraps it around the boards. Reinhardt's able to get there, and he's able to chip it out of the zone. But here comes Weegar down the right side. Weegar drops it off to number 98, and that one is stopped by Vasilevsky. 1:25 to go here in the first period. Both teams with a goal. Here in this one, it is 1-1. Shots are currently 10-8 in favor of the Lightning. That one is chipped into the Lightning zone, and they'll control it. Maroon over to Foot. Cal Foot up the center of the ice, and that one's deflected off Bellemare, and it goes right to Bobrovsky, and he'll just cover it. Sam Reinhart's power play goal, which tied us one, third of the playoffs, assisted by Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov, two of the most underrated players, as I mentioned before, here in the National Hockey League. Sean says, I'm expecting a hug from the two goalies once whoever wins this series. Yeah, They definitely will, because again, at the end of the day, when the series is over, they'll do the line shake and everything like that. And I'm sure that they will definitely meet each other, and they will shake hands regardless of who wins this one. Face off in the Panther zone here as they'll chip it out with 1 minute to go here in the first. We'll see if the team can maybe get a late goal here. Lightning trying to control in the offensive zone. They cannot. Panthers chip it back out to center ice. Hits are 21-12 in favor of the Panthers. So now Maroon tries to get around Ekblad, and he does, but then he gets pinned off the puck again. Now Maroon lost the puck behind the net. Sergachev tries to keep it in. Now Colton gets it over to Maroon, who's being pinned against the boards by Ekblad. Then it's taken away by Chiarot, and now Chiarot will easily get it out of the Panther zone with 24 seconds to go. He'll throw it down into the Lightning zone. It comes out in front to Vasilevsky, but it's cleared aside by a Lightning defenseman. 15 seconds to go here in the first. Here come the Lightning. Maybe one last chance. Sergachev gets over to Maroon. Maroon with a shot, and that one is easily gloved away by Bobrovsky. 8 seconds to go in the period. Kucherov tries to feed it over to Colton. It got broken up. Cole gets the Chernak. Now, 1 second to go here. Maybe one last chance, and a shot there is stopped by Bobrovsky as the horn sounds to end a very, very back and forth first period of play. But it looks like we're actually getting a penalty against the Panthers as the period ends. It looks like it's going to be Hornquist who's going to go to the box. So it looks like the Lightning might be starting on a power play to begin the second period of play. But right now it is 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. So what do you guys think so far of this one? Been back and forth, both teams creating some chances, goaltenders making saves. I would say it's been a good response so far from the Florida Panthers here as they need to try to get back in the series down 2-0. Let's see here as we'll see here. Avionics says whoever wins this series is going against Calgary for the finals. Yeah, in my bracket challenge that I did, Avionics, I actually put Calgary to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I still feel pretty good about my prediction considering what's going on. Archduke says, expect fist bumps right before each fight and prayers to the after each argument. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Andy's in the chat. What's going on, Andy? Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well today. He says, hello from my hotel at Oceans Resort in Atlantic City. Hello, Andy. I'm sure the weather is just as hot down in South Jersey here today. It's a gorgeous day, man, and thank you so much for hanging out with us even while you're down there, man. We appreciate it. Richard says, chat, no need to agree with each other, but respect is essential. Hockey, baby. Abso-freaking-lutely, Richard. But, yeah, I think that was a pretty good first period. I liked how both teams came out, and I expect this to continue to be a back-and-forth game as it progresses. But before we get into our first intermission report, we are going to step aside for the first time today to get a quick word from our sponsors.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We picked one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring! 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
So, a big shout out and thank you to our sponsors over at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Hockey Podcast Network. Make sure, guys, especially with the NBA playoffs now into the conference finals and here in the Stanley Cup playoffs, we're into round 2 and things are heating up. DraftKings is continuing to give you huge opportunities to get major cash prizes. So if you want to get in on the action, here's what you do. You go to DraftKings, sign up, you use our promo code THPN, and you tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. So, welcome to the first intermission report of our game here today. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal matchup between the Panthers and the Lightning. And after 20 minutes of play, we are all even at a goal apiece. Corey Perry got the Lightning on the board first on a deflection goal. And then with a couple minutes left to go and the Panthers on the power play, Sam Reinhart scored to make it 1-1. And that is where we stand after 20 minutes of play. We get some more comments here, as I like to say. Let's see here. Andy says it's 70 degrees on the beach, Neil. That's actually a pretty good temperature, but what's the humidity like? Because I heard from my brother that it's humidity. Yeah, Jeff, right? It's just very humid outside today. Yeah, he nodded his head. He said it's hot. But let's see here. Archduke says it is a perfect 61 degrees in St. Louis. Is that? I guess it's like right in the middle of. That's a pretty like perfect, almost 60, 65. That's pretty good. I like that. But let's see here. Sean says 70. Okay, he first said a perfect 66 here in Fort Knox. So again, kind of in that range of where we want to be. He says there's also 77% humidity. Awesome. As Soda Plant says, it's time to enjoy a triple header of hockey. Leave the politics for elsewhere. Yeah. Guys, at the end of the day, we are just talking hockey here, or peanut butter, according to Sean, which I'm surprised we haven't talked about yet. But yeah, guys, I mean, again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us today and every day that we're on here doing these live watch-alongs. It really, really does mean a lot to me and everyone that works here at the Hockey Podcast Network to, come on here, watch these games with you guys, interact, and just have a really, really good time. And we appreciate all of you guys so very much. And again, for those of you that are new, my name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, which covers the New Jersey Devils here on the network. We have new episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday, so we'll actually have a new episode coming out tomorrow, which should be a lot of fun. As always. We'll be just chatting about what's going on with the Devils and the World Championships and things like that. Should be good. Go check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Again, Devil's State of Mind. Richard says it's 81 in New York. It feels like 90, which is still pretty low for Hades. LOL. What the Hades? I'm so confused. Are you talking about New York City or like upstate New York, Richard? Which one are you referring to? Just so I understand what we are chatting here, my friend. As I'm actually going to update my weather right now to see where we're at here in central New Jersey. Still loading here, so just stand by for that. It's currently 85 degrees here in New Jersey, and they said it feels like 93. So it is still relatively humid as well, with the temperature being at 86. And so you can kind of tell now that we're getting much closer to June, that summer really is on the horizon, so to speak. So this weekend was great, and next weekend is Memorial Day weekend, which it really sucks because living at the shore, you know that you're going to get a lot of what is called bennies, a lot of people from New York and Pennsylvania and people like that coming and flocking to the Jersey Shore and just kind of taking everything over. But it's going to be an interesting summer, that's for sure. Richard says he's from Manhattan. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. Very cool. And by the way, guys, I know most of you don't carry this to Hockey Channel, but I actually was just flipping over while we're here in intermission to watching some of the United States Football League, that spring football league. And I literally just saw one of the teams do a pick six. Did I see that right? Yeah, I just see that. So in this game, it's New Orleans versus Pittsburgh, and it's 23-3 New Orleans with 10:47 to go in the fourth quarter. So I actually have that on here. But again, guys, this is the first of 3 games going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs today. After this one here at around 3:30, so about an hour from now, so that game will start while this one is still going on, we'll have game 3 between the Hurricanes and the Rangers. So we'll see what happens with that, with the Hurricanes up 2-0, with games 3 and 4 being in Madison Square Garden. And then later on tonight at around 8 o'clock, we will, we will have the Calgary Flames against the Edmonton Oilers, the Battle of Alberta, game number 3. That series is tied at a game apiece, as we had the Flames win the first game 9-6, and then the Oilers came back again, but this time we're able to complete the comeback and win 5-3. So there is So there's already been some excitement here in this second round, as now every single series has shifted to the second team's home ice. We'll check here. Andy says humidity is 75%, but it's windy. I mean, look, windy is fine. Windy is definitely fine. When it's your long weekend. When is your long weekend? I mean, I would say probably next weekend, because next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Moo says, love listening to the lives. Well, Moo, we appreciate your support and everyone else's support here while we're all hanging out. And again, make sure while you're here to leave a like on the stream. And also, if you like what you see and you want to interact with us here in the chat like I'm doing right now, make sure you're also subscribed. We just reached over 2,000 subscribers in the last couple of days. We're trying to reach 3,000 by the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So continue, guys, if you're new, to get on here, like and subscribe, interact with us, and enjoy what is a great community here for hockey fans. Andrew says there are 2 games left. Yes, there are 2 other games today. So we have an action-packed day of hockey for Stanley Cup playoffs here today. Sean says, like the stream, guys. Absolutely. If you're already subscribed, make sure to also like as well. Archduke says that St. Louis is very, 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 very humid. I'm indoors almost all summer long. I prefer snow. Yeah, I'm more of a winter person myself, and maybe it has to do it because of the fact that I'm a hockey person, but I definitely appreciate the cold weather a little bit more than I do the warm weather. That's just me. That's just me. SodaPod says, make sure you like and subscribe. Absolutely, guys. Continue to like and subscribe and help support the channel. And if you are new, if you come across the stream and you end up subscribing, make sure to let me know in the chat that you did subscribe so I could give you a shout out, because that's what I do. Andrew says, where is City Life today? It's about 11:30 in the morning over where Isha is right now. Maybe he'll come on later on in the day. He also could just be out enjoying the weather in the Vancouver Islands. He might be busy doing other work, but maybe he'll come on at some other point today. We'll see. Richard said, I live in Manhattan and work 3 blocks from Madison Square Garden. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So you're like right in the hub. You're like right where a lot of the action is in New York City. Very, very cool, my friend. Very cool indeed. We'll check over here in just a minute. Like I said, we're just another couple of minutes away from the start of the second period. Again, game tied at 1 here between the Lightning and the Panthers. Lightning scored first, and then the Panthers tied it on the power play. DraftKings Sportsbook giving us up an update. Who will score the next goal? Florida with a -120. Tampa Bay at a +100. A $100 bet pays out to $183. And to new customers, you bet $5 to win $100 no matter what when you use our promo code THPN. So there you go. Andrew says, Neil, me and Sean are behaving today. You are. I mean, you're never not. You're never not. You're usually, guys, you're talking with me, or you're talking amongst yourselves. You guys are fine. You guys are totally fine. So do not worry about it. Right now, let's see here. Andrew says, Sean, are you watching other 2 games today? I would imagine he probably is. I would imagine. So I'm definitely going to try to as the day goes along, but we shall see. But before we get ready for the third period, I'm going to step aside for another moment to get another quick word from our sponsors.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs.
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision.
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
So we are just about ready to get underway in this second period of our game number 3 between the Lightning and the Florida Panthers. 1-1 going into this second period. So we'll see which team is able to grab themselves the lead here in this one. As let's see here. Sean says he's going to watch the other 2 games. Awesome. So is Andrew. Love it. Richard said, Sean, did you see the major recall of Jif peanut butter? That's interesting. That is crazy. And then Sean says, wait, what? I'm 15. I'm poor. Yikes. I like how then we have these other conversations because it's great. And that's what makes this community so awesome is that we can talk about a bunch of different things. Hockey, for some reason, peanut butter. We've talked about the country of Slovakia at one point or another. It's great fun. It's great fun. We have a lot of fun every day here, guys, whenever we do these streams. And as always, like I say, and I know I say it all the freaking time, but again, I really do appreciate you all hanging out with us as you always do and, show your support. It really, really does mean a lot. And Sean says this community is awesome. This community is indeed awesome, guys. It really is, really is. And again, other than liking and subscribing, if you want to continue to show your support as well, you can also become an exclusive member when you click the join button at the bottom of the stream. You follow the steps and you can become an exclusive member that way. And the perks of being an exclusive member, I forgot to mention this earlier, are you get your own personal emojis, which is really, really cool. Our THPN emojis. Your name also shows up very quickly and, you get your comments, your questions answered very, very quickly. I know I do it for everybody, but you get a little bit higher priority. There's so many great benefits to being an exclusive member, and that's just another way to show your support. You could also donate to the stream as well. You don't have to. It's not required, but it is appreciated. And all the donations, as I mentioned before, go back to the hosts like myself. So if you want to show a little appreciation to me, you can certainly donate 100%. Sean says, I forgot how I stumbled across your channel, but I don't regret it at all. Well, I think the funny thing for a lot of people, Sean, is that's how it ends up happening. Like you end up coming across it by accident. Maybe you're looking for something hockey related or whatever, and you come across it, and you end up hanging out with us. And we really do appreciate you all finding us. It means a lot. Richard said, there's good people, there's bad people, but hockey people are the best people. Absolutely. I could agree with that 100%, Richard. And then Moo gives an L. Jif got recalled. You hate to see it. You just hate to see when good quality Jif peanut butter gets recalled. But anyway, we are just about ready to start the second period. As I mentioned at the end of that first period, there was a penalty called against Patrick Hornquist of the Panthers. So the Lightning right away will start the second period on the man advantage. They were not successful in their first, but they'll see if they can try to get it here. And again, 4 of their 7 goals that they've scored in this series have come via the power play. So certainly the power play has been a major factor for this Lightning team in this series as Kucherov weaves his way through, and now Hedman will get it over to to Perry to set it up. Kucherov over to Stamkos, and a slap shot by Hedman is either blocked or maybe Bobrovsky got a piece of it, and then Sean Reinhart's able to clear it down into the Tampa zone. We've had only 19 shots so far in this game. Shots are 11-8 in favor of the Lightning as the second period gets underway here. So now Palat loses the puck, and it's taken away by the Panthers, and they'll clear back down again. Andrew says, with me, Sean, it's from Kim, got me hooked. Yes, Kim Moisa, definitely a big supporter as well of this of this channel. She's been on here before. Moose says apparently it's salmonella. That is awful. For peanut butter? That's crazy. Now Kucherov takes a shot. That one is stopped. Almost a scramble in front, but Bobrovsky is able to get to it and cover. 58 seconds to go in the power play. We are just 1:03 into the second period with the game tied at 1. Archie says, if you like the channel, more and more people will stumble upon it. That is true. The more people that we get to like and subscribe, the more that YouTube will push it out to more people to get them to see this as well. So as always, guys, continue to like, continue to subscribe, and also share with family and friends to get them on here as well, and they can interact with us also. Haven't got salmonella yet. Well, that is good. Hopefully you don't. As now the Lightning look to set it up here again. Kucherov beats it in front. Cirelli tried to get a shot off on a rebound, but then the Panthers are able to get it and clear it back down to Bobrovsky with 45 seconds to go on the Lightning man advantage. Danelle says he's having some PB&J for lunch right now. What you watching you, Neil. That is awesome, Danelle, and we appreciate you as always hanging out with us. As now Perry gets it over to Kucherov. Kucherov now to Victor Hedman. Hedman now top of the blue line. Over to Stamkos. 23 seconds to go on the power play. Stamkos will now get it to the left faceoff circle. He comes in with a wrist shot, and that one goes right into the breadbasket of Bobrovsky, and he'll cover with 19 seconds now remaining on the Lightning power play. Andrew says, when are you doing your streams on the Basketball Podcast Network? Starting next basketball season. So in a couple of months, starting in like October, I would say, of this year is when we're going to be doing it. Richard says, blame Skippy. Yeah, it was Skippy's fault. Neil, you were the first that I watched on this channel. Now you're my dad. This is awesome. Well, Sean, I appreciate all the compliments, man. It means a lot to me. As Kucherov tried to feed it on a one-timer to Stamkos, but it got broken up by Claude Giroux, and now Giroux will come up here with 5 seconds to go on the Lightning power play. He'll just kill the clock, and that'll do it for the Lightning power play. So they were not able to score, had a shot or two on net, but eventually could not score, and so the game remains tied at 1 here as we're just about 2 minutes in to the second period. Power play now for the Lightning, 0 for 2 with 4 shots. As that shot there by the Panthers just goes wide. Panthers looking for a response right after they killed off the power play. Gets it over to the left side to Gudas. Radko Gudas with a wrist shot through traffic. It gets blocked. Panthers keep it in now. 19 trying to get over there right now. Is now Gudas with a drive, and that one is sticked aside by Vasilevsky and out of play. And so the faceoff will stay in the Lightning zone with 17:27 to go in second period. Game still tied at 1. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to plug in my laptop because it's low on battery. Stand by. Stand by. All right. So now we'll just wrap it around to the other side. And we are good. All right. So there we go. Anyway, Sean says Skippy is up to something. They sabotage GIF. That is impressive. That'd be wild if that was actually the case. Danelle says, really hope of the NHL for the Stanley Cup Finals put all the games on ABC, not on cable on TNT or TBS. I didn't like when the NHL put some games on NBCSN for finals games. I personally would prefer for them to do the Cup Final on TNT because I think they just do a better job overall in presentation and putting in the effort. I think ESPN just does a very half-assed job like they do with a lot of the sports that are not the main sports that they cover on the network. But knowing how this is going to go, it's probably going to be all on ESPN. Probably get on ABC. It will depend on also the NBA Finals as well as to what days those games are and what channel they decide to put them on. So that's something to keep in mind as we get closer to it. Now the Lightning have the puck in the offensive zone. As now Chernak keeps it in. Chernak now in the right corner. Now gives it to Palat. And tried to feed over the cold. Now back to Chernak. Chernak with a shot and he scores! Chernak goes top shelf over the glove of Bobrovsky in. And the Lightning, just a few minutes into the second, regain the lead. As Lightning strikes twice, it's 2-1. That comes at the 2:54 mark of the second. Alex Chernak, the defenseman number 81, he got, as Palat tried to make a pass to Colton, Colton actually touched it enough to get it to Chernak, and then Chernak goes top shelf through a little bit of a screen from Weegar, and he's able to bury it to get the Lightning to lead back. What's going on, Beer Sports Whatever podcast? Good to see you guys as always. You are definitely subbed. Make sure to also leave a like on the stream as well. Lightning scores. And then Andrew says hi to the Beer Sports Whatever podcast. He also says boo. Sean says no. Richard says energy play-by-play is why subbed some time ago. Love it. Thank you, Richard, for the compliment, man. I try to do my very best to give you guys this play-by-play because, again, I would obviously love to be able to show you guys the game as we're watching it. But, again, because of legal reasons, copyright and all that, I cannot. YouTube would shut us down. So I give you guys the best play-by-play. So it's kind of like you're getting a radio vibe, I guess it would be fair to say. But yeah, Ross Colton, great job to just slowly touch the puck a little bit to get it to Chernak enough so we could take that shot. So Ross Colton should probably get an assist on that one, as certainly Palat will get one. And it was that, I guess you'd call it that third line for the Lightning. And Chernak, who's part of that second pairing defensive pair, he gets the goal. And the Lightning have the 2-1 lead. Sean says, boo. Moose says, fuck yeah. Fuck you, Florida. Woo. All right. Eric Chernak, that was just his second career playoff goal. Now a turnover here by the Lightning. Panthers with opportunity in their backhand, and that one goes wide of the net. Oh, Sam Bennett looking to try to immediately tie it back up, but he could not cash in. Andrew says no. Archduke with goal. Andrew says in Canada. Sean is helping the channel and says, let's get to 2.1 subs. Yes, we are already very close to getting to 2,100 subscribers. And again, our next goal is to get to 3,000 subs by the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So help us out, guys. Like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. All of that is greatly appreciated. When the NHL was with ESPN ABC back then, they had all the Stanley Cup Finals games on ABC, just like the NBA had with the NBA Finals. I mean, things have obviously changed over the years, so we'll see if they go back to that like they did the first, like when they were originally covering the NHL. But again, like I said, my preference, it's only just my preference, would be like TNT because I think they've done a great job. Now the Lightning keep it. Weegar over to his left defensive partner. He stops, takes a wrist shot that deflects wide of the net. Now Kucherov is just going to lift it out of the zone and back out to center ice. What's going on, Jacob Taha? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We thank you for liking and subscribing, my friend. Make sure to also just say hi to everybody and like the stream if you haven't already. Helps out the channel. He says, what's up, bro? How you doing today? I'm doing very well, Jacob. Thank you for asking. As always, excited to be doing these live watch-alongs with all of you guys and interacting with you here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon for some hockey. Don't get many opportunities to do a day game live watch along. I've done a couple, but certainly not one in the playoffs. It's Maroon with a shot from a sharp angle that goes wide of the net. Lightning right now trying to keep the puck in. It's that fourth line. Maroon behind the net here looking for somebody. Gets it up top of the point to Bogosian. Now to the left side to McDonough. Ryan McDonough back to Bogosian. Fakes the slap shot. Now we'll just wrap it around the boards, but it's taken away by 42 of the Lightning. And now Radko Gudas trying to get out. He gets knocked down. Is there a penalty? No. Hagel tried to feed it in front. It got broken up, but a good play there by Hornquist is able to knock the puck out of the Panther zone, and the Lightning are forced to retreat. All I'm saying is give the NHL respect, Neil. That's all, my man. Yeah, no, I mean, I give the NHL wholehearted respect all of the time. It's a shot there by Barkov, hit the post. Oh, he was able to go top shelf. He actually beat Vasilevsky, but he rang it off the pipe. Inches away from tying this one. And then a shot there by 23 is stopped. Panthers with opportunity on the left side, and they couldn't cash in. Oh my goodness, for Hagee, he had a wide open net, but couldn't get enough of the shot to bury it. Oh, two missed golden opportunities for the Panthers to tie it. So now they're looking Giroux over the left side. Wrist shot there is stopped and covered by Vasilevsky, and things will pause. 13:34 to go in the second. It's Eric Chernak who scored to give the Lightning the 2-1 lead. And then the Panthers twice in a matter of seconds nearly tied it back up. But it's 2-1 Tampa. Richard says that when those networks stuck to sports, now they're nonsense. Yeah, I mean, I look at like ESPN and I just don't even know what really they're trying to be anymore. It's not what it used to be. Certainly things have definitely changed. So I don't know. It's interesting. It says, what are you having for dinner? I believe I'm having steak. believe I'm having steak. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty certain of that. What's going on, Devin Johnson? Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to not forget to leave a like on the stream while you're here. He says, do you think that Tampa will pull off the sweep? You know, that's a really tough question because I think when you look at it from how things have gone in this series and now with it being 2-0 Tampa, with this game and game 4 in Tampa, and you would think that probably it's going to end up being a sweep, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think it might go 5. Maybe it goes 6 if Florida gets their act together. But I mean, if Tampa wins today, especially with game 4 being tomorrow, by the time Tuesday comes around, Tampa might already be the first team to get to the conference finals. Who knows? But Florida's definitely fighting again here in this one. Logistically covering all the games on non-cable TV is almost impossible these days with so many wildcard teams. That's true. Sean says no. Andrew says he's heading out. He says, I'm heading out, Neil. Have a good day. Andrew, as always, my friend, we thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. Hope to see you later on today for the other live watch-alongs. And again, we appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. Sean says, yummy steak. See you, Andrew. Stay positive. Absolutely. Archer says, I dislike hearing failed comedy on sports channels. Yeah. It makes you cringe a little bit, that's for sure. Richard doesn't believe that there will be a sweep. Yeah, I don't think so either. It's hard, especially when you're at this deep into the playoffs, into the second round, and you have 2 of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, 2 of the better teams in the NHL. You wouldn't expect a sweep. But again, in hockey, anything can happen, especially here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's a magical, unpredictable sport. Andrew says he's going to be having ribs for dinner. Awesome, Andrew. Well, I hope you enjoy those ribs. And again, thank you for hanging out with us today, and we will see you very, very soon. So we're back to the action here. 13 and a half minutes to go in the second period. Eric Chernak has the only goal of the second to give the Lightning the lead back. And it looks like we're going to get an interference penalty here against the Lightning, I believe. I believe it is against the Lightning. It is. It's going to be Victor Hedman, of all people, going to the sin bin. He's usually does a really good job of keeping out of the box. But yeah, he definitely interfered with Verhaeghe there, and that was the right call. So the Panthers, who finally scored their first power play goal of the playoffs, which got them their only goal so far, will look to try to get their second power play goal, and more importantly, tie this game up again. Richard said, Florida has the capability to put up a 3 spot in minutes. I got the receipts. They do. They have a really, really dangerous offense. Now Huberdeau gets to the Barkov. Barkov with a wrist shot that gets blocked into the left corner. Chernak whacking it away with Ekblad. Now Hornquist will control it. Gets it to Ekblad. Ekblad, top of the point to Barkov. Now over to Huberdeau. Huberdeau over to Ekblad. Barkov fakes the slap shot. Now to Huberdeau again. Huberdeau, one-time shot by Ekblad, and that one is sticked aside by Vasilevsky. Panthers control it again. Huberdeau, top of the point to Barkov. Now back to Huberdeau on the right side. Huberdeau now will go to the top of the blue line. Blue line gets it over to Barkov. That shot is blocked. Good block by Ryan McDonough. Is now Huberdeau with it. Huberdeau holds, creeps in, still looking for somebody. Feeds it to Barkov. Barkov, slap shot by Ekblad, and that one goes wide of the net. Panthers doing a good job of keeping the puck in, though, and setting it up again. Barkov over to Huberdeau. Huberdeau in the right faceoff circle. Gives it to Ekblad again, and that one is blocked as well. That's the third block, and another block there. Maybe a breakaway. No, it wouldn't have been because Nick Paul lost his stick, but he gets out of the zone. Florida gets it right back in. Reinhart gets it over to Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad in the left corner, backhands it around the boards over to the right side to Huberdeau. Huberdeau, right corner, blue line, gets to the Barkov, top of the blue line, creeps in a little bit. Now to Huberdeau. Jonathan Huberdeau holds, gets it over to Reinhart. Now to Barkov with a shot. That one is stopped. Rebound try is stopped by Vasilevsky. Scramble on the right corner of the net. Comes out right in front again. Gets it back to Barkov. Barkov holds, takes a shot, and that one is stopped by Vasilevsky. Oh, a couple of big saves there from Vasilevsky. But now Barkov again. Slap shot by Verhaeghe, and that one is stopped. It was on the blue paint and then was cleared by Tampa. 8 seconds to go on the power play. Barkov with it again. Barkov over to Huberdeau. Huberdeau holds it, gets it back to Barkov. Barkov waits, gets it to Ekblad, feeds over to Huberdeau, and he didn't score! Oh my goodness! I don't know if he missed the net or Vasilevsky made the save. Either way, he didn't score. Power play is over. Lightning desperately looking to try to get the puck out of the zone. Claude Giroux behind the net, feeds it out, but it misses the Florida Panther player and goes all the way back down. And Gustav Forsling will go back to control for Florida with 10:55 to go in the second. Crowd on their feet in Tampa as a job well done by the Lightning penalty killers and Vasilevsky to kill off that penalty. We got to go back to the Huberdeau chance at the end there. I want to see as Hagel tries to come in with speed. He collides with Bobrovsky. No penalty as Bobrovsky came way out of his net to make that save. But here comes Bennett. Tries to get it over. Intercepted by Tampa. And now Hagel will get it over to the right side to his teammate. And now he gets it. Corey Perry with a shot. And that one is kicked aside by Bobrovsky. End-to-end action right now. Archduke says, since the level of play is very close these days, sweeps happening less. I agree. Danelle says, when I was on my lunch break at work, I had McDonald's yesterday. I had 2 cheeseburgers. Large fries since it was hot. I had a frappe, but when I was sipping, I had a brain freeze a couple times. Yeah, yesterday was a good day to have something like that, that's for sure. Did their power play unit finally put it together because they're actually doing decent as there's a scramble in front? Almost a stoppage of play. Panthers get it in clear. 9:48 to go in this second period. Lightning still on a 2-1 lead. Yeah, Sean, the Panthers power play was able to finally score a goal as they scored one earlier today as Kucherov gets to the Stamkos and he fires it home and scores! Steven Stamkos with an absolute beauty of a 1T, beating Bobrovsky top shelf. And the Lightning, with 9:37 to go in the second, grab a 2-goal lead. It's now 3-1. So the Lightning respond with that great penalty kill, and they get rewarded with a beautiful 1T slapper from the captain, Steven Stamkos. Great feed from Kucherov as well. Nice little saucer pass, and just no doubt from Steven Stamkos. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. Then again, it's playoff Vasilevsky. It is. Sean says, goal. Wait. Oh. Again, Jacob with the Vasilevsky is 97 out of 100 on shot stopping for this game. He continues to be lights out. But again, a great 1T slapper from Stamkos beating Bobrovsky, and the Lightning grab the 3-1 lead. And the fans outside Imola Arena are on their feet as well. Danelle says Lightning scored. Sean says no. Boo. I hate my life. JK. Yes. Some people in this chat are not thrilled. Some people are okay with it. The Lightning now up 3-1, and this is a key moment here. Is now let's see what's going on. As Stamkos is talking with the 3 refs, I'm not sure what's going on. They're looking at the ice for a second, but now Stamkos goes back to the bench. Not sure exactly what's going on with that sense, but looks like everything's okay. But nonetheless, Steven Stamkos with the most recent goal now makes it 3-1, and this is it. And was there a penalty called? I don't know. Maybe there was a clock stoppage. There was a lot of confusion here. But it looks like we're going to be all right. As Yeps, they've dropped the pucks. Now we're back to play here. But now the Panthers are in a really, really big spot. Steven Stamkos this season, 26 points, 10 goals, 16 assists without Braden Point, most on the team. Yes, Braden Point has not played at all in this series. He got injured back in Game 7 of the first round against the Leafs. And hasn't returned yet, but he may well return later on in these playoffs. So we'll see again here as Vasilevsky just making some tremendous saves. McDonough helping out on a good clear-out attempt. Just some great job by both the penalty killers and Vasilevsky on that one. Need some caffeinated peanut butter. Afternoon games make me sleepy for some reason. Yeah, I think it's because of the intensity of it all and things like that. It's also lazy Sunday as an opportunity for Tampa again, and that one is stopped by Bobrovsky. What on earth was Bobrovsky doing there? As he basically passed it right to Alex Killorn, and Killorn almost was able to beat Bobrovsky, but he made the save. 9:13 to go in the second period. Lightning now up by 2. They lead it 3-1. Sean says, just don't get salmonella. I'm definitely going to try not to, but yeah, this is a pivotal moment for the Florida Panthers. Down 2-0 in the series here in Tampa, down by 2 goals midway through the game. They have to get going here. And if the Lightning end up winning this game, I go back to that penalty kill that the Lightning just had, where Vasilevsky made 2 or 3 big-time saves, a couple of good blocks as well, and then just moments later, after the penalty was killed, the Lightning went down and scored to make it 3-1. So let's keep an eye on that and see how important that kill ends up being as this game progresses. Richard says, Stamkos with a slapper. That's new, LOL. Yeah, Stamkos not known for being a guy with a tremendous slap shot. He's more of a guy that's dangerous when he shoots it with his wrist. But yeah, he got a really, really good slapper there. Top shelf. I think Bobrovsky may have gotten a piece of it. Not entirely sure. But nonetheless, he couldn't get enough of it to stop it from going in the net. And again, Lightning up 3-1. Sean says, Neil, agree or disagree? The Battle of Alberta is a big joke. I get Edmonton came back, but Edmonton is a big joke. No, I don't think the Battle of Alberta is a joke. I think it's a tremendous rivalry in Western Canada, and I believe that there's obviously a lot of history between those two teams, and it's already been crazy in the first 2 games. So no, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a joke. As we'll see again on this Huberdeau shot, actually it was Ryan McDonagh who got a stick down to make that save. So a great job by McDonagh several times on that power play. So shout out to Ryan McDonagh and Andrei Vasilevsky for being the big-time killers of that penalty just moments ago. What's going on, Isha? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well today, my friend. We thank you for hanging out with us. Leave a like on the stream while you're here. He says, hey, Neil, drinking wine yet? Not today. I got a super, super busy day, starting with this live watch along. Got a bunch of other stuff to do, so I'm sticking with just H2O for this one, man. But I'll be back to drinking wine very soon. Isha says, go Bolts. Sean says, go Panthers. Come on, Isha. Jacob says, at Sean Butcher, Oilers are the biggest joke of a team ever. It really is hard to argue when, a lot of the years it's just been Leon Draisaitl and McDavid carrying not the world's greatest amount of talent around them. As the Lightning putting on some pressure right now, looking to try to take a 3-1 lead. McJesus rejects that comment from, as Richard says. Then Sean says, agreed. Yes. But we'll see later tonight if the Oilers can grab the series lead as now games 3 and 4 shift to Edmonton. So here come the Panthers into the zone. Good defense there by Palat on Verhaeghe. Lightning slowly trying to get it out of the zone. Right now they're having some trouble. Verhaeghe again. He gets rocked by Palat. Palat off the boards. Can't get it out. Neither can Cirelli. Now Chernak, who has the go-ahead goal right now, he gets it to Cirelli, and he's able to clear it back to center ice. And now Palat will intercept it again, and he'll dump it back in. Both teams struggling a little bit right now to control the puck. Right now, the DraftKings Sportsbook money line plus 450 for Florida, minus 800 for Tampa Bay. That is the latest odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, guys, use our promo code THPN when you sign up and tell them that Neil Villapiano sent you. Shots are currently 21-17 in favor of the Lightning, and they lead 3-1. That slap shot there was whipped, and Stamkos takes it away. Gets it to Ryan McDonagh. McDonagh will come in basically by himself, and he'll just fire it around the boards. Nick Paul tries to get there first. He's battling with Huberdeau. Panthers now are able to get out of the zone. Huberdeau up the center of the ice. He backhands it over, tried to get it to Bennett. It got broken up, and now here come the Lightning the other way. Stamkos over to Nick Paul. Nick Paul has a little bit of a step. Who'll go into the left corner. He gets pinned by Radko Gudas. Both guys fighting for the puck right now. Anthony Duclair now with it. Paul back in the left corner. Fighting with Gudas. Now to Stamkos, top of the blue line to McDonagh. Over to Bogosian. Bogosian holds. He still now travels it up to the right corner. Wraps it over to the left side of Stamkos. Stamkos feeds it over, and Kucherov whiffs on the slap shot. And then the Panthers clear back out to center ice. Stamkos' goal, which made it 3-1, his third of the playoffs. Assists go to Kucherov and Victor Hedman. 6:25 and ticking to go in the second period. Lightning right now with the 3-1 lead. 2 goals here in this second period from Chernak and the aforementioned Steven Stamkos. Richard says, Tampa, ... dare I say dynasty. Well, if they're able to go all the way and win a third straight Stanley Cup, we definitely could say that. And I think you could make an argument that they would be a much more impressive modern-day dynasty than what Chicago put together from 2010 to 2015. I think you could make a very strong argument because at least with Tampa, they've won 3 in a row. And we thought after that maybe Pittsburgh because they won it in 16 and 17, but they didn't get the third one. As now, here comes Victor Hedman left side. Gets it over to Cernak. Fakes it. Now to Palat. Now to Cernak. Cernak with a shot, and that one is a high riser. It's gloved down for a second by Bobrovsky, but the Lightning regain the puck. Then it's taken away by Reinhart, and it'll bounce it off the boards and back down into the Lightning zone with 5:18 to go in the second period. As now the Panthers trying to get the puck out right now. Gets over to Claude Giroux, who's had a quiet game today. Verhaeghe has the puck knocked off him from Killorn, but he gets it right back. But then Killorn intercepts it again and fires it off the boards and out. 5 minutes exactly to go in the second period. As now Weegar will be behind the net and set it up for Florida. Shots are 22-17 right now in favor of the Bolts. Now Nick Paul tried to weave his way through defenders. Verhaeghe intercepts it. Now Verhaeghe in the right corner gets it. One-time shot by Weegar is blocked. And now the Lightning will get it. It's Nick Paul. He'll come up the left side with a lot of space, and he'll just chip it into the right corner. No icing here. Forsling wraps around the boards over to Weegar on the other side. Weegar at center ice, almost taken away by Stamkos. And now it's a little bit of a bouncing puck right in front of the Lightning bench. Now it's regained by I just blacked out for a second there by Weegar. Weegar will slow it up here with 4:10 to go in the second period. Sean says, God, I hated Chicago when they were a dynasty. I mean, I didn't, obviously, because it didn't affect me as a Devils fan, but it was certainly an impressive run for them, although 2010 has been tainted with what has transpired over the last year. Very much a dynasty. They are rare these days. Yeah, especially with the salary cap in most sports, it's very hard to just win a singular championship. And for Tampa to not only win 2, but now be in a really good position to definitely make a run to get a third, it's very impressive. Isha's blown away that we're almost at 2,100 subscribers. Wow, I know, guys. We are so very close to getting to 2,100. So again, if you're new, if you came across this and you like what you see, make sure to leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe, because the only way you can jump in the chat and hang out with us and talk is by subscribing. And again, if you are new to the channel and you do subscribe, let me know in the chat and I will give you a shout out. What's going on, RJ? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well today. As always, I'm sure you'll be ready in about a half hour for Game 3 between the Rangers and Hurricanes. Make sure to leave a like on the stream while you're here, man. As always, helps out the channel. Sean says, yes, like and sub people. Absolutely. He also, with a very hot take, says that the Lions are winning the next Super Bowl. So we have 2 people in the chat that have said one team or another is going to win the Super Bowl. We've had Sean say that he's got the Lions, and then we also have someone who has the Cowboys as well. So it's we'll see if either one of you are correct. He says, I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to hold you to it, Sean. We'll see if they can get in the playoffs first. Let's start with that, and then we'll go from there. But just got back from commercial break. Just a couple of minutes to go in this second period. Again, the second game of the 3 games here for the playoffs today is starting in a little less than a half hour. Rangers Hurricanes Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. Hurricanes up 2-0, looking to grab a 3-0 lead. They have not won a game on the road yet, but they could certainly do that here today if they can win. And then the third game will be later tonight, starting at around 8, a little bit after 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Battle of Alberta. Flames and Oilers, game number 3. That series is tied at a game apiece. The Lions will have to eat their peanut butter Wheaties. All right. Sean says he's going to send an email to their manager to eat their peanut butter. Smart strategy. Rich says, if Tampa makes the finals, I'll root for them. 3-peats are way too rare in any sport. That might be one big reason why a lot of people hockey fans may want to cheer for Tampa because they want to see something that they may never see. They may never see, certainly here in the modern day when it comes to sports. You're absolutely right, Richard. RJ says, today's Yankees got a doubleheader. First game is starting any moment now. They said 3:05. It's 3:10 right now. Game 2 will start at 7:08. Yankees against the White Sox. Yankees won yesterday. They'll look to try to clinch the series win. They can win game number 1, and if they do, they'll go for the sweep in game number 2. Vasilevsky, 55 wins since his playoff debut way back in 2015. As now Ekblad with a soft shot that goes wide in the net. So now the Panthers looking to try to control here.
Hello and welcome to...
I don't know why that popped up on my phone. But anyway, 3:25 to go in the second. That shot by the Panthers is deflected just wide. RJ again. Oh, I just saw that. Sean says, go Avs. Sean is cheering for the Avs. Avs have a 2-1 lead over the Blues after their 5-2 win last night. And so they'll look to try to go up 3-1. They can and steal both games at St. Louis, with game 5 being back in Colorado. 3 minutes exactly to go in the second period. Lightning with both goals in this second period. They have the 3-1 lead. So that puck is chipped down back into the Panthers zone. As now Reinhart tries to stay on sides, and he does, but it's taken away by Bogosian. He makes a pass that deflects off somebody, and it will be an icing. Defending Stanley Cup champions are 68-3 in series record, leading 2-0 in best-of-7 series. So there's definitely a lot that is on the side of the Tampa Bay Lightning here in this series. And, look, they have the 2-0 lead. They're at home, and they're up 3-1 late in the second. Things are going very, very, very well right now if you are a Lightning fan. Richard said, huge Yankee fan. Right now, I don't give a puck. Hockey, baby. Love it, Rich. Love it, man. I love that passion for hockey. It's awesome. What's going on, AJ1337? Thank you so much for leaving a comment, my friend. We do appreciate it. And you might be, because I don't think I've ever seen you before, I believe you might be a new subscriber to the channel. But while you're here, make sure to also leave a like on the stream as well. Helps out the channel as Kucherov comes in with a shot. And that one is stopped by Bobrovsky. Follow-up trying to rebound by Nick Paul goes wide the net. Nick Paul looking to make it the 3-goal lead. Paul now with it again. Paul tried to feed it in front of Kucherov. Now we get a stoppage in play here. I'm not sure exactly what happened, and I could tell by John Cooper's reaction it's probably a penalty, maybe? We get a stop with 2:04 to go in the second period. AJ1337 said, wow, what a game so far. Good thing I bet Lightning and Corey Perry goal. Oh, wow. So you already got yourself some good money. Hopefully you used DraftKings, by the way, and used our promo code, which you can see right in the bottom right of your screen, THPN. But Ajay, welcome to this live watch along. We thank you for hanging out with us and making us a part of your Sunday afternoon. Looks like there was too many men on the ice. Patrick Hornquist was screaming about it. Too many men on the ice against the Lightning. And so it is. So the Panthers will go to the power play with 2:04 to go in the second. So the power play will last, unless they score in it, the power play for the Panthers will last for basically the majority of the rest of this period. Big opportunity here for Florida as they look to try to at least cut the deficit to 1. Huberdeau, right face-off circle as the power play starts. Huberdeau now creeps into the right corner. Top of the point to Barkov. Barkov with a wrist shot through traffic that gets blocked to the left side. Hornquist now looking to try to get again. Taken away by McDonough. He'll fire it off the boards and just out of the zone. Panthers are 1 for 2 on the power play with 4 shots. That power play goal was their first power play of the playoffs. It took them until their 36th attempt to finally score a power play goal. Barkov, top of the blue line, over to Huberdeau, right face-off circle. Huberdeau stops, gets it back to Barkov. Barkov back to Huberdeau. Tried to feed it in front to Reinhart, and then a follow-up try by Hornquist was stopped by Vasilevsky. Barkov lost control of the puck, and he'll have to come out of the zone and clear and set it up again. Barkov creeps up center of the ice, gets over to Huberdeau. Panthers stay on sides. 1 minute to go on the Florida Panthers power play. Barkov gets it, top of the blue line. 1 minute to go in the second period now. Panthers looking for something here, looking to try to grab some momentum before the period expires. Huberdeau stops, tries to get it to Barkov. Barkov just gets it. Tries to make a pass, and it's intercepted by Nick Paul. Now Nick Paul comes the other way shorthanded by himself. Nick Paul with a shot, and that one is stopped by Bobrovsky. Good save there by Bobrovsky. Better shot there by Nick Paul. 30 seconds to go on the Florida power play. 30 seconds now to go in the second period. Puck pops up in the air, and now Sergachev's able to get it, and he'll clear it down into the Panthers zone. Weegar will go back to get it here. 13 seconds to go in the Panthers power play. 15 seconds to go in the second period. Giroux gets over to Bennett. Now they come here again. Verhaeghe tried to get it to Bennett. He lost it. Gets it over to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe looking for something. Gets a slap shot. Now a slap shot there by Duclair. It gets blocked. Power play is over. 1 second to go. Duclair tries to feed it over in a one-timer, but the clock expires as Giroux's shot will not count. And that will do it for the second period of play. Eric Chernak and Steven Stamkos both got goals in the second. The Panthers missed on 2 opportunities on the power play. And after 40 minutes of play, the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, who are already up 2-0 in the series, are up 3-1, 20 minutes away from taking a commanding 3-0 lead. So, as always, guys, what do you think so far this one? How do you think both teams have looked through 40 minutes of play? And as always, let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the final 20 minutes of action. Sean says, Dad, want to hear a joke? Sure, give me a joke. Would love to hear one. Richard says, dad jokes, question mark? Yes, Richard is a fan. Sean is very much a fan of putting on some dad jokes in the chat while this is going on. What made the short-tempered coach of the hockey team so frustrated when he opened his email? What? Peanut butter? Telling his team to eat more peanut butter? What's the punchline, Sean? Let me know. He had so many forwards. Very good, Sean. Very good. But before we get to the second intermission report, we are going to step aside for another moment to get another quick word from our sponsors.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs.
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision.
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
So once again, a big thank you and shout out to our best friends and our sponsors over at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Hockey Podcast Network. As always, guys, with the NBA playoffs into the West, into the conference finals, and the Stanley Cup playoffs well into the second round, DraftKings is continuing to give you guys unbelievable opportunities to get huge cash prizes all playoffs long. So if you want to get in on this action, go to DraftKings right now, sign up, use our promo code, which you can see right here, THPN, and tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. So we are into the second intermission report here of our game 3 between the Lightning and the Florida Panthers. And after 40 minutes of play, it is the home team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, with goals from Erik Cernak and Steven Stamkos that give them the 3-1 lead going into the third. So I kind of look at it this way, that I really just can't see Florida coming back. It seems like once you had that major kill by the Lightning on the penalty kill, and then you had Steven Stamkos moments after that score, which are actually just showing here during the intermission. That was a huge momentum shift for the Lightning, and so now the Panthers are in a really desperate spot, because if they don't get it done and win this game, they go down 3-0 with game 4 exactly tomorrow. So the Panthers are possibly just a day and change away from maybe being out of the playoffs altogether, which is something that I don't think any Florida Panthers fan would like to see them get knocked out this early in the playoffs. Got some more comments here. Do you know that hockey players love drinking tea? Their most favorite one is penalty. I love it, Sean. Love it, man. Well done with the jokes. AJ1337 says, hopefully we could get a Ross Colton goal. Ross Colton, a New Jersey native. Always, me being from New Jersey, I'm always going to get excited when a Jersey player does well, regardless of what team they're on. But, hey, I'm really impressed with how Ross Colton, starting last year and coming into this year, has been such a big part of kind of recreating that third line and bringing in that energy and being a great guy to replace what they had on that third line for 2 years. It's so impressive what he's been able to do and accomplish in just the short time being in the National Hockey League. And he had the dramatic goal in Game 2 with 3 seconds left to win Game 2 to give the Lightning a 2-0 lead. So we'll see if he can get himself a second straight goal or a goal in back-to-back games and really put this one away. Because the way I look at it is that if Tampa at any point goes up 4-1, I think it's fair to say that this one is over. Richard says, a skeleton walks into a bar and says, I'll have a beer and a mop. Okay. What is the reason that hockey NHL players never sweat during a match? Because of all the stadiums have lots of fans. Richard and Sean, definitely with the dad jokes, man. This is great. It's not that Panthers losing, it's that they're kind of choking. I mean, they're not choking necessarily. I would say Game 2 they kind of choked because they tied the game so late. It looked like it was going to overtime, and they just gave up a goal with 3 seconds to go in the third to ultimately lose the game. They're not really choking this away, although they were the number 1 team going into the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and they had the home ice advantage going into the series, and they just haven't been able. They just haven't been able to get things going, and they're facing a Lightning team that is bound and determined to create some history and be the first three-peat that we've seen in nearly 30 years. That noob Mike is back. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you again, my friend. He says, hey, will you be streaming the Carolina game today? Mike, I will not. I will not be streaming that one. I want to say that somebody is probably going to. I'm not totally sure, but I am not. I'm going to be streaming the rest of this game here, Game 3 between Florida and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But Game 3 of that series, Rangers versus Hurricanes, should be starting in about 10-15 minutes. I believe that game is on ESPN, I want to say. Yeah, that game will be on ESPN. Calgary Flames versus Oilers, game number 3, Battle of Alberta, later on tonight at 8. That'll be over on ESPN too. So this game we're doing right now is the only game that's on TNT. But Mike, make sure to also leave a like while you're here, my friend. You already know the drill. When do hockey players wear formal attire? When it is a tie game. Very, very good again. What's going on, Clayton Roy? Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing well this afternoon. We thank you for spending some of your Sunday afternoon with us today. Make sure to also not forget to leave a like on the stream. It helps out the channel tremendously. Says, sup, guys? What's going on, dude? Thank you for hanging out with us. Sean says, what's up to Clayton? Mike also gave us a like. Mike, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Clayton says, I went to a Milwaukee Admirals game in Chicago last night. Oh, so are the Admirals still in the playoffs? Where are they in the playoffs right now, Clayton? Let me know. Richard says, the best offense led division home ice, a bit of choking, my friend. Yeah, that is true, Richard. You look at the way that Florida has been all season long, the comeback Cats, the most dangerous, potent offense in the NHL all season long, number one seed, winning the division, number one seed going into the playoffs, home ice advantage throughout the playoffs, and now they are 4 periods away from potentially getting swept by their Florida rivals. And that is something that the Panthers did not want to have happen. Panthers talked about a lot about wanting to get revenge from last year losing in the first round to the Lightning. But right now the Lightning are just continuing to spank them. Like, this series so far seems less competitive than it did in last year's series. Because at least the Panthers did win at home last year. This year, they have not in this series. Clayton says the Admirals blew a 1-0 lead, then they lost 6-2. Yikes! So they go from being up 1-0 to eventually losing 6-2. That is rough. Got a new person in the chat, new subscriber. It's the Dev Dav saying hi. Dev Dav, welcome to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, my friend. We thank you so much for liking and also subscribing and hanging out with us and saying hi, my friend. How are you doing today on this Sunday afternoon? And they are in the division final. Yeah, because now the AHL playoffs is into the divisional round. So now we get to the point where whoever wins these, because I think there's 4 divisions, and I think after that you get to like the final 4, basically. And then you have the top 2 teams, the teams who win their divisions from each conference will battle each other for the Eastern Western Conference finals. And then we'll have AHL Calder Cup final. So there you go. I'm having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. Second person in the chat that's having PB&J today. I'm sure Sean in particular would approve of that, Clayton. Very, very cool, man. Very cool. Clayton, you planning on going to see Milwaukee play any more games this season, my friend? Or you just going to try to watch on AHL TV? Also, I can definitely assume that you are a Nashville Predators fan, which is dope. Mike says, I'm having waffles for lunch. Nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're like at a diner and you decide to have breakfast, which I know a lot of people that do. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sean says he does approve of the PB&J. Love it. Love it, guys. But, yeah, again, this is a make it or break it situation for the Florida Panthers. You know, they're down 3-1 in this game, down 2-0 in the series, could very well go down 3-0. And game 4 is tomorrow. So they'll have a quick turnaround for tomorrow's game, which tomorrow's game will be at the regular time at 7 o'clock at night over on TNT. So, yeah, we'll see what the Panthers can do going into this third. The most important thing is that they have to find a way to get at least one of these goals back early in the third. Put that pressure on Tampa right away and go from there. Because if at any point in this game, if it gets to 4-1, this game is definitely over. Dev says he is good. Dev, again, we thank you so much for finding this channel, hanging out with us and saying hi, and also like and subscribing, man. It means a lot to us. Richard said, check the make and date on that peanut butter. Absolutely. Sean says, you missed my joke, Dad. Oh, you did have a joke. You did have a joke. Sean said earlier, what do the New York Rangers and Titanic have in common? They look good until they hit the ice. Another very good one, Sean. Very, very nice indeed. Clayton also said this sandwich is for Mr. Peanut Butter. Love it. Love it. Sean definitely, I'm sure, feels very honored that you're having one in honor of Sean, the biggest fan of Jif creamy peanut butter. Remember, creamy gang only Which, I mean, I also like chunky, but I guess creamy's a little bit better. But Stamkos talking with the TNT on ice guy right now. He has the third goal right now for the Lightning, which made it 3-1. He also has 3 shots. His goal, by the way, was just his third of the playoffs. And this is probably the healthiest that Steven Stamkos has been in this dynasty era that the Lightning have had. So I'm sure he's just happy to be fully healthy on the ice and playing really, really good hockey. Dev Dad says, bruh, what you bowing for? And then Sean says, creamy all the way. Yes, we do know that that Sean is the biggest proponent of creamy peanut butter, 1,000%. So, guys, before this third period starts, let me know in the comments your predictions. How do you think this game's going to end and everything like that? Goal scorers, all of that stuff. Let me know in the chat so we can discuss it some. But while you guys do that, I'm going to step away for just a moment to get another quick word from our sponsors over at DraftKings Sportsbook.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
So we are just about ready to begin the the third period here of this game number 3 between the Panthers and the Lightning. Again, the Lightning up 3-1 going into the third period. And if they do hold on and win, they will take a commanding 3-0 lead in this best of 7 semifinal series with game 4 tomorrow. So if the Lightning hold on, they'll have a chance to go for the unprecedented sweep of the top-seeded Florida Panthers and move on to their 3rd straight conference finals. So we'll see if the Panthers have a response here in this final 20 minutes. Sean says, fun fact, regulation hockey nets are 6 feet wide and 4 feet tall. The more you know. I actually didn't know particulars of the net, Sean, so thank you for sharing that, my friend. Richard said, this is the most consequential third period in Panthers' recent all history. I think you could certainly make an argument for that, Richard, because this is probably the best Panther team that Florida has had in quite some time. And considering the fact that they were the number 1 seed going into the playoffs and they've had such high expectations and tremendous offense and facing off against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, they certainly need to make this one of their greatest third periods in their history when it comes to the playoffs. They have to get it done. They have to. And we are just about to find out as the third period is underway. Lightning have led in this series for 64 minutes and 54 seconds. So the Lightning have certainly led for most of this series. It's certainly been a rough one so far. But the Panthers have 15 third period comeback wins. That was back in the regular season, which led the NHL. Tampa Bay Lightning were 33-1-4, leading after the second period in the regular season. So something has to give here, and we'll see which team will get it going. As the Dev says, Tampa or Florida, who is gonna win? I predicted earlier today 5-2 Tampa win, which could still very well happen. But I think firmly Tampa's going to win this game regardless, because I just think they're just way, way better than the Florida Panthers. I know Panthers fans might have a hard time agreeing with that. But again, I just, you look at this Tampa team and they just look like a machine. And they've been through it all now. Nothing phases them. And they have so much chemistry together as Nick Paul comes in his zone, chips it in. We're just about a minute into the third period here. Richard said, asking the hockey gods for OT. That would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild if we ended up having to go to OT. As now the Panthers come in, they stay on sides. 98 with a shot that goes wide in the net. Now Lightning will control it here. 44 with the puck for Tampa. Fires it off the boards. Back out to center ice. Nick Paul gets some speed. He comes in. Backhand try gets blocked to the side. Dev says yes. Sean says, ask the peanut butter gods. They know best. I don't know how much they would be involved in hockey, Sean, but maybe they'll make the ice a little bit a little bit more slippery for Tampa if they want to see a comeback here. As now Foot gets the puck, Foot with a wrist shot, and that one just goes wide. As now McDonough wraps around the boards, back over to the right side. Kucherov feeds it over to Hagel, and then he feeds it in front. Shot is stopped. Wraparound try in front. Scramble in the blue paint, and it goes to the left side. Oh, the Lightning just inches away from getting a 3-goal lead, but Bobrovsky may have gotten a piece of one of those shots. Lightning couldn't cash in as we're just about 2.5 minutes into the third. Lightning looking to try to put the game away early in this third here, but Bobrovsky comes up with a big save. Shots are currently 26-21 in favor of the Lightning. Bellemare gets into the right corner, backhands it, intercepted by Weegar, and now Weegar will get it over to his partner, and he'll just dump it back in behind the Lightning net. Vasilevsky backhands over to Bogosian. Bogosian chips it to Maroon, and then Maroon chips it out from Bellemare. Back out to center ice is again Weegar will set it up. He gets it to his defensive partner, gets broken up, but Bogosian now will settle it down for Tampa here. Just about 3 minutes in to the third period. The Lightning still up 3-1. Bogosian will continue to set up behind his net. He'll wrap it around the boards over to Andre Palat. Palat at center ice. Palat now gets it over to the right side, chips it past Killorn. Ben Chiarot will get there first for Florida, but it's taken away by Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli wraps around to the other side. Chernak keeps it in over to Palat. Now to Killorn. Alex Killorn gets the puck knocked off him. But now Palat fighting along with Barkov. And then Killorn got a feed in front, but it got broken up by a Florida defenseman and back down. DraftKings puck line right now, -2.5 is a -110. And a +2.5 is a -120. So those are the latest puck line odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, use our promo code THPN. Richard said, Panthers really need an early one. They do. They do here as we have just approached about 4 minutes into the third, and it's still 3-1 Tampa. Why do Canadian women use a hockey puck instead of tampons? Because they last for 3 periods. Sean, you're walking a fine line there with that one. Let's not go there, man. Let's not go there. Dev is saying why. I don't know. Sean sometimes goes crazy. There's a rebound try there by Nick Paul. Might have gotten a piece from Bobrovsky. Couldn't score there. So again, the Lightning just inches away from making it 4-1. It's now Reinhart backhands it in, but there was a delayed offsides. Now Foot will control it, gets it over to Sergachev. Mikhail Sergachev has the puck deflect off Corey Perry, but Ross Colton gets there, and he whips on a shot that still got to Bobrovsky, and he makes the save. So Ross Colton looking for a goal there and looking for goals in back-to-back games, but Bobrovsky makes the save as the The Lightning have already had 4 scoring chances in this third period, while the Panthers have none. See it again on that Nick Paul chance. Just a great right leg pad save from Sergei Bobrovsky. And what's interesting is that the original shot from Paul, it might have gotten blocked in front or blocked a little bit, and Bobrovsky was going from his right to his left and nearly let in a soft one, but was still able to make a save. Sean says, Sean, you're a jokester, my friend. You are a jokester. Now the Panthers come in 58 with a shot that gets blocked in front. Sergachev takes it away. Now comes Corey Perry, who got the game's first goal. Colton keeps it onside. No, not onside. We get an ice offsides here against the Lightning with 15:01 to go in the third period. And obviously, if you're the Lightning, the longer you go with, the more minutes early on in this period that you go without giving up a goal, the better it is for you because it remains a 2-goal lead. And I would say definitely when you look at this game, the biggest difference has been the amount of blocked shots that the Lightning defensemen really have gotten in this game. I go back to the wide open chance for Huberdeau back in the second just as their power play expired, where Ryan McDonagh was able to get a stick down to block the shot. And then moments later, Lightning come down the other way. They score to make it 3-1. And again, like I mentioned before, that could very well be a difference in this game. And the blocked shots have certainly been a key component to the success of the Lightning defense, keeping the Panthers from getting too many opportunities. Face-off won by the Lightning, and then Foot will just slap it into the Panthers zone here. Shots are now 29-21 in favor of the Bolts. Foot will get it again, and once again, he'll fire it back into the Panthers zone. As now Aaron Ekblad will start it off from behind his own net. Ekblad comes up the middle of the ice, gets over to Ben Sherratt, who just missed him. Pass was just out of the reach. Now Sherratt will skate it back and reset for the Panthers. Ekblad now back to Sherratt. Now over to, or at least he tried to get to Ekblad, but deflected out of play. So face off here with 14:30 now to go in the third period. As Sean says, good luck in soccer. I'm not sure. What are you referring to? I'm so confused. I'm so confused when you say good luck in soccer. Oh, I know why. Because there's several comments that I just missed. An absolutely offensive, disgusting joke. Love it. DevDab says he's got to go to soccer. Have a good day. DevDab, thank you so much for finding this channel, liking and subscribing while you're here. We appreciate it. And we will see you, my friend, in the next live watch along. Take care of yourself, buddy. Sean says, thank you, LOL. And then Sean was talking to DevDab saying, good luck in soccer. Sean, I love that you're so kind to everybody. Be kind, man. That's the best you could do. Is Uyghur with a slip shot, and that one is blocker to side out of play on a good save from Vasilevsky. So Andrei Vasilevsky continuing to be strong in net as he has given up just 4 goals through almost 3 full games in this series. Vasilevsky getting stronger as these playoffs progress. Is the Florida coach right now trying to get his team going here as they need to get the next goal to at least cut the deficit to 1 and start putting some pressure on Tampa. Because the Panthers, other than maybe one power play, have never really been the more dominant team in this game. Face-off of the Lightning zone is won by Tampa, and Killorn will chip it out of the zone. Sean says, I'm the person in school who thinks they're funny, but I'm actually not, LOL. Hey, man, you know what? At the end of the day, you just need one person to laugh at your jokes for you to be automatically funny. Danelle says he's going to go watch the Rangers against the Hurricanes since it's a local team, but I will click back to the Panthers Lightning game. Danelle, no worries, man. We appreciate you as always hanging out with us today. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very, very much. As that game just got underway, that's over on ESPN. So we'll see if the Hurricanes can grab a 3-game lead or the Rangers get back in the series. As Nick Paul comes up, he drops it off to his teammate, and that shot is stopped. Opportunity again for Nick Paul, feeds it to Bogosian with a shot, and that one is also stopped by Bobrovsky. Nick Paul, what an absolute addition from Ottawa, coming over from Ottawa to Tampa. You know, we obviously had that big 2-goal game in Game 7, single-handedly won Game 7 for the Lightning, and has certainly brought more and more energy and offensive chances here in this second round. 5 third-period scoring chances already for the Lightning here in this third. Still none for the Panthers. Panthers right now just look like they don't have an answer for anything the Lightning are throwing at them. Sean says, see you, Danelle. Danelle then says, I will still come out here, Neil. I ain't going anywhere. Hey, no worries, man. No worries. We still appreciate you hanging out with us regardless. Richard said, Abraham Lincoln was considered the class clown. You're in good company, Sean. Yeah, that is good company to be a part of. 12:45 to go in the third and ticking here in this third. Lightning still with a 3-1 lead, and still a lot of time left to go. But also, time is very short for the Panthers here, who need two to at least force overtime. As that pass deflects out of play, and so we will now get a stoppage of play. 12:35 to go in the third. Lightning still up 3-1, looking to grab the 3 games to none lead. And we'll step aside for just a moment to get another quick word from our sponsors.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We picked one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
Here we go. As we're back to action here in this third period, again between the Lightning and the Panthers. 3-1 Tampa still here as this period progresses. We got some more comments here. John says, I want to make a joke, but it might be offensive. Yeah, don't say it. I'm not going to say it. Good. Sir Andrew is indeed back in the chat. Andrew, good to see you again, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out again with us. Here we go. Do you know why Jesus stopped playing hockey? Kept getting nailed to boards. Jesus, man. Jesus, that is rough. That is rough. Andrew says, oh, Sean with that, as a sharp angle try there, but the Panthers is stopped, and the follow-up try as well is stopped by Vasilevsky. Andrew says, come on, Panthers. Rich says, God has a sense of humor, Sean. Look at Toronto. Oof. Another roast. You guys are roasting things left and right. It's, we got quite the joking crowd here today as now Palat gets over to Killorn with a drive. That one just goes wide of the net. Slap shot on a rebound opportunity, and Bobrovsky comes up with the save. Andrew asks, who scored for the Bolts? Corey Perry, Eric Chernak, and Steven Stamkos are the goal scorers for Tampa. Sam Reinhart on the power play is the goal scorer, the only goal scorer at the moment still for the Panthers. Sean says, ooh. And then Andrew says, yeah, Richard, your Bolts suck. I don't know if you'd say the Bolts suck. They're up 3-1 in this game and up 2-0, looking to potentially go up 3-0 in the series if they can hold on for the last 11:53 of this one. So they don't really suck, but, everyone's entitled to their opinion, that's for sure. Now off the face-off, Corey Perry with a shot. He whiffed on it. Rebound opportunity is blocked on a shot from Colton. Corey Perry wide open in the slot, but he whiffed on the shot, looking for his second of the game there. And speaking of Ross Colton, AJ 1337, come on, Ross Colton goal. He almost scored just a few seconds ago, AJ. So he's looking like he could score today. As that puck is chipped into the Panthers zone, no icing. Now 27, Lunastrainen, who was actually hurt earlier in this game, has looks like he's okay now, which is good. Richard says, not a Bolts fan, but thanks, question mark? Yeah, I don't think Richard is I believe, Richard, Richard, what are you a fan of? Because I know you live in Manhattan. So are you a Rangers fan? I'm trying to just remember what fan of a team you are, if I'm not mistaken. 11 minutes to go in the third. Almost a feed there to 62, but it got broken up. Panthers trying to keep the puck in the zone. Forsling with a shot that goes just wide of the glove of Vasilevsky. Panthers putting on a little bit of pressure right now. Have an opportunity for Hagee with a shot. That one gets blocked by Kucherov. Kucherov looking for maybe a partial breakaway. He has a little bit of a step, but he has to hold up as Forsling did a good job. Gets the Stamkos. Nice tap it in front by Paul, but he couldn't get enough of it. Oh, Nick Paul had an opening there. He tapped it, but he couldn't get enough to beat Bobrovsky. Oh, again, the Lightning looking to put it away, but could not cash in. And now Forsling comes up the center of the ice. Kucherov, no goals, but he has 2 assists and 5 shots. It's Forsling with a shot that goes right into the breadbasket of Vasilevsky. And he'll cover with 10:18 to go here in the third. And the Lightning still up 3-1. We'll see again here on the replay. Kucherov made a nice backhand feed to Stamkos, who tried to feed it to Nick Paul. Let's see again if he... Actually, it was Bobrovsky who just did a really good job using his stick to deny Paul of having a shot at all. Otherwise, if Nick Paul got that puck, he probably taps it easily into an empty net. So again, the Lightning just seem to be at least 2 steps ahead of the Panthers in this game. It's been that way since, really, honestly, since the Lightning retook the lead on a goal from Chernak. Shots are currently 33-25 in favor of the Lightning right now. Lightning trying to get the puck out of their zone. They do. Third period chances are now 6-2 in favor of the Lightning. So here we go as we have just reached exactly 10 minutes to go in the third. Halfway through the third. Lightning still holding on to this 3-1 lead. RJ giving us a score update from the other playoff game going on right now. Hurricanes and Rangers, no score. First period, just about little over 6 minutes into the first period. That game is over on ESPN. Richard says, Rangers, yep, let me guess, they suck, right? Question mark, still playing though. I wasn't going to say anything like that. I mean, I'm a Devils fan, and yes, I would obviously say that out of fun, but no, I wasn't going to say that. I was actually just curious to remember because I know you live in Manhattan. I would assume that you're a Rangers fan, just wanted to know. But Richard, since we are talking about the Rangers, do you feel confident they can get back in this series? Okay, Richard, and Andrew says, and then he says, let's go Rangers, let's go Rangers. Sean also saying, let's go Rangers. I'm actually going to flip over to that while we have a commercial break right now, see if anything has happened. Nothing at the moment, 13:31 to go in the first period. Again, Rangers have had a lot of success. They're 3-1 so far in the playoffs at home. And the Hurricanes are 0-3 on the road. So this is a perfect opportunity for the Rangers to get back in this series with the Hurricanes struggling so much on the road. But you don't think a team is really out of a series until they lose a game at home. So if the Rangers lose one of these 2 games at home, right, and go down 3-0 or 3-1, it might be fair to say that the series is over. But again, they have already come back from down 3-1 in a series in these playoffs. But can they do it more than once in a playoff year? Very tough to do. Very, very tough to do indeed. But yeah, it's been not a boring third period here between the Lightning and Panthers. It's been more the Lightning are just, you could see that they've taken full control of this game. You can really see that they're clamping down. They're not giving Florida much room to do anything. And they're really looking to try to get that one last goal to put the game away, put it on ice, and secure the 3-0 lead. That's really where we're at. And I would expect in the next 5 or 6 minutes, because we just reached the halfway point of the third, I would probably expect, because there's about what? 9:50 to go in the third. I would say at like the 4-minute mark, if it's still 3-1, that the Panthers would pull Bobrovsky. Defending Stanley Cup champions are 68-3 in series all time after leading 2 games to none, the best of 7. So Lightning would like to continue that trend here in this series as Palat will take it away. He'll chip it, tries to get a step on Forsling, and he'll actually get there, but he gets crunched by Forsling in the right corner, and then the Panthers will easily go and get the puck in control. Sean, Leafs are your team. They are your team as well, Andrew. Richard says, possibly but doubtful. Actually excited for the coming years. This is gravy. Yeah, Richard, I do remember you saying that earlier in this stream that, anything the Rangers do at this point is gravy because, again, they weren't expected to probably get this far in the playoffs. So for them, it just shows that they have a very, very bright future indeed, as much as that paints me as a Devils fan. But the Devils also have a very bright future. So we could be getting some really exciting Hudson River rivalry hockey for years to come as we get a stoppage of play as Vasilevsky covered it. And then we got a little bit of pushing and shoving from Stamkos and Sam Bennett. And actually, Sam Bennett with a little bit of a left hook right into the face of Stamkos. We'll see if the refs call anything there. As definitely you could see the frustration coming from Florida here in this one. Sean is a Preds fan. All right. And then Andrew says, it sucks for you, Sean. He says, true. And then also he says, fair point, Richard. But Mammon and Bennett were the ones in that pile with Nick Paul, Sergachev, and Stamkos. And then out of nowhere, not really out of nowhere, something must have been said. Bennett actually ended up kind of pushing his left glove into the face of Stamkos. And now Bennett is on the Panthers bench being looked at a little bit. Not sure exactly what happened. I don't think a penalty was called there, so I think we still skate 5 aside. Face off to the left of Vasilevsky in the Lightning zone with 8:52 to go in the third. Panthers win the face-off, and Ekblad with a drive that is stopped and gloved down by Vasilevsky. Make that now 26 saves on 27 shots for the Vezina and Conn Smythe winning Andrei Vasilevsky, who, like I mentioned before, it just seems like, especially this year, as the games progress and as the playoffs progress, he's just getting better and better and frustrating the Panthers more and more. Face off again to the left of Vasilevsky in the Lightning zone. Colton and Claude Giroux will take the face-off. Face-off won this time by the Lightning, and then Sergachev will be able to get it at least out of the zone. Again, the Panthers have 3 comeback wins already in these playoffs, tied for the most in the postseason, as they'll look to try to make it 4, but they still need 2 goals to tie it to at least force overtime. As that shot from Giroux actually bounced up, but it was stopped easily by Vasilevsky. Panthers are back in their own zone and now look to come the other way. Claude Giroux, again, one of the big trade acquisitions at the deadline for the Florida Panthers, one of the bigger ones of the entire trade deadline. He has had himself a very quiet series so far. Certainly a quiet game today. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot going. As now McDonough takes it away for Tampa, fires it off the boards, tried to get it to Colton, but it's broken up by Giroux, and then he backhands it over to Reinhart, who's able to chip it in. And I believe there was an offsides called. I believe Reinhart was called for offsides with 7:56 to go in this third. Again, Lightning still controlling here this game and this period, still up 3-1. Let's hear. Richard says, Vasilevsky is the definition of having a playoff switch. He has been. Claude Giroux had 3 goals, 4 assists in 6 games against the Capitals in round 1. Claude Giroux in this series against the Lightning, no goals, 1 assist, and just 6 shots. So again, like I said, he's really struggled in this second round against Tampa. So it's really been rough for him, and the Panthers really need to get him going, and he needs to get going. Claude Giroux, 31 points since acquisition from the Flyers, 6 goals, 25 assists. Now the Panthers have it, 62, takes a shot from the left side, and it goes wide and it goes all the way back down near the Panthers bench. Andrew says, I really hate when Tampa and sometimes with Panthers because Panthers are hot and they best Boston. Now Tampa's taking over, so now I'm pissed at that. I can understand how people might be pissed off that Tampa once again is showing dominance. But again, You got to, if you want it to change, you got to beat the team. You have to. And really, I don't think there's been a lot of controversy this playoff with Tampa. They have just gone out there and they've won. And I know people want to say they're cheaters and all that, but that was last year, and they weren't even really cheating. They were following the rules that were in place by the NHL. So it's more that I think a lot of people are just jealous, and understandably so, with the amount of success that Tampa's had in the last 2 years. But you remember, for several years, they were embarrassing themselves. Getting swept out of the playoffs in the first round by the Columbus Blue Jackets, not being able to, win the Stanley Cup back in 2015 and having other playoff flops in that span as well. They've definitely gone through the ringer, and now they're being rewarded for their hard work, and they continue to work hard as they look to try to become the first modern-day three-peat in North American sports, because we have not seen that in a long time. As Chernak gets it over to McDonough, who takes a shot, and that one's easily blocked or aside by Bobrovsky. Moo says, fuck yeah, Lightning, we love this. You're definitely loving it, Moo. Richard says, Patrick Waugh had that switch at times. He did. Marty Brodeur, arguably the greatest goaltender of all time, had that switch as well. There's just guys who, when it comes to playoff time, they just flip that switch and they get themselves rolling. Sean says, last year was highly controversial. I don't really remember it being highly controversial, to be quite honest with you. But I didn't watch the playoffs as much as I've watched it this year, so maybe I missed something. But the only thing I remember from the Lightning that was anywhere controversial was the whole thing about Kucherov was put on LTIR, and it allowed the Lightning to not be over the cap. But again, they didn't cheat. They just followed the system that was put in place by the NHL. That was the thing. If anybody was to blame for that, it was the NHL's own ruling. I clicked to the game and it's still 3-1 Lightning over the Panthers. Yeah, to be honest with you, Danelle, you haven't really missed anything. The Lightning, at this point now, are kind of just locking it down defensively, not really giving the Panthers much of anything to maneuver and just trying to secure this win. Panthers actually beat the Capitals, not the Bruins. Yes, they did beat the Capitals. If I said Bruins, I do apologize. I meant Capitals. They beat the Capitals in 6 games, with the last 2 games of that series being come-from-behind wins. Actually, 2 of the last 3, games 4 and games 5. I mean, it's very possible that the Capitals could have won that series and pulled off the upset, but the Panthers came back in games 4 and 5 to win both of them and eventually win the series in 6. Danelle says, what do you mean by the switch, Neil? It's like a theoretical switch, Danelle, is what I'm talking about. It's like there are players out there that, you have a certain motivation and, everything like that when you're in the regular season. But once you get to the playoffs and you know how intense the playoffs get, Danelle, you flip that switch, kind of like a light switch, basically. It's like a light switch in your head, motivation to say, okay, now it's the playoffs. I got to take my game, to the next level. I got to be that much better, that much stronger, that much, more dominant. And that's kind of what I mean, especially for goaltenders. Every year, at least 2 or 3 goaltenders, play well. Look at the Montreal Canadiens last year. The biggest reason, as that shot there by the Panthers, it stopped. Scramble in front of that nearly went in. It was on the line, but it's cleared away by the Lightning. Oh, great opportunity there for the Panthers to get one here with 5:20 and ticking to go. But look at the Canadiens last year. The biggest reason they got to the finals, what's his name? Carey Price was on his game. When the Los Angeles Kings won the Stanley Cup back in 2012, Jonathan Quick was unbelievable. So, that's the way I look at it. So that's what I meant, Danelle, by the flipping of the switch. So we're going to stop at your play here with 5:03 to go in the third. The Panthers may very well be looking to pull Bobrovsky soon. Good job by 44 Ruda to get that puck away from crossing line. It was inches away from crossing, but no goal. But 5:03 to go. Still 3-1 Tampa. It says the cleaning, gardening stuff is all right done, and I did 1.5 third are done. My mom finished it. Very good, Andrew. Good for you to be productive, man, on a day like today. Rangers score a power play goal, lead the Hurricanes 1-0. Mika Zibanejad scored the power play goal as the Rangers are actually being outshot 12-6 with 7:18 to go in the first. But they scored, took advantage of the power play, and now have themselves just their second lead of this series. And they've already done better than they did in Game 2, because in Game 2 they got shut out. So, worked out. And also, RJ with an update as well that the Rangers are up 1-0 on the Hurricanes in the first. He just says, damn. But then he also says yes. But again, we have just a couple of more minutes to go in this one. And I just want to say again, thank you all so much for hanging out with me this entire afternoon while I've been doing this live watch along. I've had a lot of fun doing it with you. Again, my name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, which covers the New Jersey Devils. If you want to check out my podcast, new episodes every Monday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever. Search Devil's State of Mind, and you'll find all of the episodes. New episodes, again, every Monday and Thursday. I'm also on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel doing live watch-alongs 2 to 3 times a week. So if you want to check out more, make sure, again, to like and subscribe to THPN YouTube channel. So we're back to the action here. Lightning fans dancing. They're feeling good. They're about 5 minutes away from taking a 3-0 lead. Well, Neil, I think we all know how this game's going, so I'm going to head out. See ya. Sean, no worries, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us all afternoon. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next live watch-along. Rich says, got to float. Hockey is happiness. Mother puckers. Love it, Rich. Love your hockey talk all day long, man. I was in my private room before all this time. Andrew also says, see you, Sean. So I love how you guys are so kind to one another and wish everybody well. It's great. 4:50 to go in the third. Shots are 34-30 in favor of the Panthers. As now Bobrovsky goes to the bench for the extra skater. Now Ekblad with a shot. Then one gets blocked in front by, I believe, a Panthers player. Then Giroux gets checked into the boards. Doesn't look like there's a penalty, but now Killorn will get it. Killorn tries to weave through one defender. He still has the puck, weaving through defenders, but Barkov eventually takes it away from him. As Killorn looking to put this one on ice. Now Sergachev gets it over to Hedman. Hedman fires it left side, 2-on-1 for the Lightning, and Nick Paul gets his shot blocked by Barkov. Nick Paul, who's had several chances to score, gets denied again on a great diving block from Alexander Barkov. Panthers come back into the zone. Shot there by the Panthers, just goes wide. 4 minutes to go in the third. Now Kucherov has it. Kucherov gets away, and he'll just fire it into the empty net and scores. And so Kucherov, who's already had 2 assists, gets his 3rd point of the day, makes it a goal of 2 assists, and he puts this one away, the nail in the coffin, as the Lightning now make it 4-1 with just 3:54 to go in this one. Kucherov, trying to be generous, gave it to Nick Paul, but a good block there on the stick from Barkov denied him. But then just moments later, Kucherov got around a diving Aaron Ekblad and then just sniped it. Not even a leg tap. He just absolutely rifled it into an empty net. He scores, and he puts this one away. So the Lightning are all but for sure going to go up 3-0 with Game 4 tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, the Lightning will get their first opportunity to see if they can knock out the Florida Panthers and move on to the conference final for the 3rd time for the 3rd consecutive year. Housework is never be done. Yeah, I know. It's always tough to find time to do it, especially because we're all so busy, but I'm glad that you were able to do so. Lightning did indeed score an empty netter. Panthers season is over, I will say. I think it's a fair point as an opportunity there for the Panthers is snuffed out by Vasilevsky. Andrew says no. He also says boo. So now Gudas gets it over to his teammate. And now Gudas with a slap shot that gets blocked in front. Lightning have it. Corey Perry off the boards and out all the way down in front of Vasilevsky. Will it be an icing? I don't believe it will. So we got 3 minutes and ticking to go in the third as the Panthers look to see if they could just try to get at least another goal as that high-rising flip is caught by Vasilevsky. Blocked shots make it now 18 for the Lightning, just 9 for the Panthers. Blocked shots was a big difference in this one as Bobrovsky goes to his bench. Is it a commercial break here? or are they pulling him, or is there a timeout? I don't know. But either way, Sergachev on that last shot, it got deflected, and then he blocked it with his back. Didn't even know it was coming to him. EMoy, what's going on, man? We thank you for hanging out with us as you always do. Leave a like on the stream while you're here. He says peanut butter. Hello, my friend. I just told Panthers off big time. As well you should. Panthers pulling Bobrovsky again with 2:49 to go. So the Lightning will have another chance here to maybe get another empty net goal. As now Barkov with it. Barkov with a shot that goes wide to the left side. Panthers trying to settle it now, but it's taken away by the Lightning. Here comes Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli, he'll backhand it to the empty net. He'll just miss to the right side. 2:30 and ticking to go in the third. Panthers looking to try to make this a little bit closer, I guess. As Huberdeau comes up the left boards, he gets into the offensive zone. He'll stop, drop it to Barkov. Barkov now back to Huberdeau. Huberdeau, slap shot by Barkov, and that one is deflected out of play with 2:16 to go in the third period. But, yeah, guys, the Lightning are going to go up 3-0, and now we'll have 4 opportunities to knock out the Panthers. Can the Panthers tomorrow night, can they force a Game 5 back at Sunrise, or will the Lightning send the Panthers home with an unprecedented sweep in the second round? As now Ekblad lost the puck. Stamkos takes it, fires it into the empty net, and he buries it. Steven Stamkos will score his second goal of the day, his 4th of the playoffs. He gets an empty netter, and the Lightning continue to make this game look even worse on the score sheet. It's now 5-1 Tampa. And by the way, Kucherov's goal was assisted by Nick Paul. So Nick Paul still was able to get on the score sheet even though he didn't score. But Stamkos gets it. Does Kucherov get an assist? He did touch the puck, I wonder. Because if he does, it'll make it his 4th point of the game. But Stamkos, the captain, with a beautiful wrister into an empty net, he gets himself a 2-goal performance and just continues to make this a blowout with 2 minutes exactly to go in the third. Andrew says, I'm so off here now and I'll be tonight. Bye, Neil. No worries, Andrew. As always, man, thank you so much for interacting with us and hanging out. Make sure to leave a like before you go, and we will see you in the next live watch along. And also says Lightning score another empty net goal. That they did, as we have 100 seconds exactly to go in this one. And again, there are a lot of question marks that need to be answered from Florida. Do they make a goalie change? Maybe they go to Spencer Knight, who's already had a little bit of playoff experience. Do they have to make some changes to the lineups, to the lines? What do they have to do to get back in series, as they are now down to their last, we'll use a baseball term, they're down to their last strike going into Game 4, which again will be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on TNT, as the Lightning will look to go for the sweep and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd consecutive years. Pat Maroon is called for offside here with 1:06 to go in this one. RJ giving us another update from the Rangers-Hurricanes game, Game 3. That game is still 1-0 Rangers from power play goal Mika Zibanejad with 3:32 to go in the first. Thank you, RJ. Andrew says, yes, Spencer is goated. He shows a lot of promise. Florida Panthers averaged 4.11 goals per game in the regular season, and they have mustered up just 1 here with just 1 minute to go in the third. Jacob says, who's starting tomorrow? No, it's still going to be Bobrovsky, but we'll see. We'll see what changes are made. Jacob says, a 1-0 lead in the Rangers versus Canes game is never safe. It is not, especially because these games have been very, very low scoring. It's been 1-0 either Rangers or Hurricanes going into the third period of games 1 and 2. So it's far from over. Panthers are a cursed franchise. In many ways, you could make that argument because they had many opportunities in their history to do something special, especially this year, Danelle. But now they have to do something that is seems almost impossible, and that is win 4 in a row against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, with still 2 games to be played in Tampa if they want to get to the conference finals. 10 seconds ago here, Lightning chip it back near the Panthers bench. Forsling will get it. He'll take a slap shot. One last save by Vasilevsky. He'll play it over to Bogosian, and that will it should have done it. Now, okay, it is official. That will do it as the Tampa Bay Lightning blow out the Florida Panthers in Game 3 by the final score of 5-1 and take a commanding 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinals. So, now we'll see what happens tomorrow because, again, as I mentioned several times, Game 4 will be tomorrow night, again in Tampa, as the Lightning will look to try to sweep aside the Florida Panthers and move on to the conference finals for the third year in a row. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for me today for this live watch along. Thank you guys, as always, for taking time out of your day to hang out with us here on this Sunday afternoon. We greatly appreciate all of you guys liking, subscribing, and interacting, as always, on the stream. Make sure, again, to subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel and also punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the channel. New live watch-alongs every day throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network on all social media platforms at HockeyPodNet. Follow me on my personal Twitter at THENVPSHOW and my personal Instagram at NVPQB11. Go check out my podcast, The Devil's State of Mind podcast, in which I cover the New Jersey Devils. New episodes every Monday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcast episodes on Google, Spotify, Apple, anywhere. Devil's State of Mind, and you'll find it. Make sure to leave a 5-star rating as well on Apple or Spotify. It is greatly appreciated. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Devil's State, Instagram at Devil's State of Mind, and like us on Facebook. So again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us this afternoon, and we will see you next live watch along. Once again, the final score from Game 3, the Lightning with a dominant 5-1 win over the Florida Panthers. They now take a 3-0 lead going into Game 4 with a chance to potentially sweep and move on to the conference finals. Everyone, as always, continue to be the awesome people that you are. And as I always say at the end of every live watch along, make sure to rock on.